Good evening everyone, it's dark, but it's time. We're so back with this Lone Wolf series. Yeah, I know we're supposed to play Way of the Tiger like 3 weeks ago, I think. But after the week off, maybe 2 days before the stream of the first game of the Way of the Tiger, I found finally, well, between the other one, book 7 of the Lone Wolf series, but the whole Magnakai set collection on Amazon, and I was able to order all of them. So I have books number 6 to 12 of the definitive edition right now. It took kind of a while. I was supposed to get them like 10 days ago. Yeah, about 10 days ago, but it took a little longer. I got them actually Wednesday last week, so one day too late to start the stream. That's why we're going to play Lone Wolf today. And yeah, we're so back. Actually, the book for tonight is book number 6 of the series, or book number 1 of the Magnakai series. And it's one of the books that I haven't read much at all. I played it only once before. And strangely, it's the last book before the New Order series that I've read. So yeah, I've read books number 1 to 5, most of them a couple of times, maybe not books 4. I've read 7 to like 21 a bunch of times, but the famous book number 6 was quite elusive to me. And now tonight it's the second time I'm going to play this, and the first time in English actually. Yeah, that's the story so far for me, and that's why we're going to play Lone Wolf finally. But let's start with the real story so far. You are Kai Master Lone Wolf, the last of the Kai Lords of Summerland, and the sole survivor of a massacre that destroyed your warrior kin during a bitter war with your age-old enemies, the Darklords of Elgedad. 3 years have passed since your triumph over the Darklord Aken at the tomb of the Mahan, and for the northern realm of Summerland these have been 3 years of peace and prosperity. Since Aken's defeat, the power of the Darklords has waned. Rumors abound of a civil war raging in Elgedad as the lesser Dark Lords fight each other for power and dominion over their infernal city. Some say that it is a crude and brutal contest to win the Archlordship of Elgedad, yet others believe that it was your discovery of a lost Sumlending treasure, the Book of the Magnakai, that has ignited their furious struggle for power. The Book of the Magnakai is legendary in Summerland. Using the wisdom and guidance of this divine tome, Sun Eagle, the first Kai Grandmaster, was able to instill the disciplines of the Kai into a select cadre of gifted Sumlending warriors. They, in turn, imparted their skills and wisdom into other Sumlending, who shared their innate and special talents. And so it was that with the passage of centuries, the Kai flourished and grew into an elite warrior order which kept Summerland secure from devastation by the fell host of Elgedad. The Book of the Magnakai had been lost long ago, yet its wisdom was kept alive and handed down through generations of Kai so that they, too, could hone their skills and use them to thwart the Dark Lord's evil ambitions. It was you who discovered the Book of the Magnakai, and it was you who destroyed Darklord Aken in the battle to retrieve it from the tomb of the Mahan. Since that fateful day, you have given a solemn pledge to restore the Order of the Kai to its former glory, and by doing so, ensure the security of your homeland in the years to come. You return home from the deserts of Vasagonia, wherein lay the secret tomb, and in the seclusion of your monastery, you set about a study of the Magnakai disciplines. It was an exacting task, a trial both of physical strength and mental fortitude, The seasons came and went, but you were unaware of the passage of time. So consumed were you by your quest for the knowledge and the skills of your warrior ancestors. 3 years of determined study passed in which you mastered 3 of the advanced Magnakai disciplines. You also learned that the remaining 7 disciplines could not be acquired by study alone. In order that you may fulfill your pledge to restore the Kai to glory, you must complete a quest first made by Sun Eagle over 1,000 years ago. When finally he completed his quest, he recorded all of his experiences in the Book of the Magnakai. Sadly, much of his script has faded with the passing years, and now only a few of his wise words remain to guide you. Seek and find the Lorestone of Varetta, for his wondrous gem holds the power and the wisdom, are the only words that you can still decipher of the Grandmaster's handwritten chronicle. Although this verse is brief and incomplete, it gives you hope. You recognize the name Varetta. It is one of the oldest cities of Magnamon. It lies in the Stormlands beyond the Macan Gorge, far to the southwest of Summerland. You resolve to set out upon your quest without undue delay, for the war in Elgadad will not last indefinitely, and the Darklords have sworn to conquer your country and exterminate your people. As soon as they have resolved their civil strife, the victorious new Archlord will turn upon Summerland and dispatch his fell agents to thwart your quest. You must therefore act quickly and with great stealth, for your life and the future of all Summerland depends upon the success of your mission. And so, guided by the words of your ancient mentor, and with the shadow of the Darklords ever present, you set out upon the quest for the Lorestone of Varetta, unaware of the wonders and the dangers that await you in that distant, war-torn city. Right, so for the game rules, they're the same as usual with the combat skill, endurance points. We carry over all the stats and item as well that we had from the first 5 books, but some things change. First here, if you have successfully completed any of the previous adventures in the Lone Wolf series, you will already have your combat skill and endurance points, which you may now carry over with you to book 6. Yeah, right. However, if you deem it necessary, all those endurance points may be recovered before starting book 6. Yeah, sure. Moreover, Lone Wolf's hard training as a Kai master during the last 3 years might have significantly increased your fighting prowess and physical stamina. In this regard, you may pick 2 new numbers from the random number table. That means 2d10. So that's 3 and 6. Not really good. If any of them or both are higher than one or both of your previous combat skill and endurance scores, you may decide to recalculate the latter using these new numbers. You may also carry over any weapons, backpack items, and gold crowns that you held at the end of your last adventure, and these shall be entered on your new action chart, which is right here. Combat skill was 16 plus 12 for all the other items, but 3 is lower, and endurance points were 19. However, 6 is lower than the 9. No change here. Weapons, you have a short sword and an axe. Backpack items, we have 5 of them. Potion of Concentrate Aletair. Silver Comb. Yeah, right. We always have a nice haircut. A prism, looking glass, and a bottle of Kursha. No meal, 40 gold crowns for over 50 max. That's pretty much all that we had there. You are still limited to 2 weapons, 8 backpack items, and 12 special items. Actually, I'm not sure that we are really limited to 12 special items before. Feels kind of new to me. Anyway, I think we have more than 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. Okay. Additional items can be left in safekeeping at your monastery for forthcoming adventures. Some things like that. Like ticket red pass. Sounds like shit too. Therefore, safekeeping in their garbage can, I guess. However, only the following special items may be carried over to the Lone Wolf Magnakai series book 6 and onwards. Any others will be left in safekeeping at your monastery. It's a kind of polite way to say trash them all. Those are Kai shield. We already have a shield. Now it's a Kai shield. Doesn't change anything though. It's more beautiful, a Kai shield. The banner of the Kai in it. First thing that we can carry over. The Crystal Star Pendant of Banadon. Yup. A battered padded leather waistcoat. Padded leather waistcoat. It's over there. Now it's battered. Yeah, it's a mini adventure, right? Called battered PL waistcoat. Helmet. No helmet. Chainmail waistcoat. We have that as well. The Summer Sword. Trusty Summer Sword. There's an asterisk here saying to refer to the appendix at the section called The Power of the Summer Sword. Going to check if something has changed. The power of the Summer Sword, the most powerful goodly weapon to be found in Aeon. The Summer Sword was forged by the god Kai with the assistance of the Noma, a race of demigods who serve him on the planet of light. It harnesses the power, not the planet, the plane of light. It harnesses the power of the Sun Star, the manifestation of Kai's power in Aeon, and is the bane of the champions of darkness, especially the Darklords of Felgadad. The Summer Sword can only be wielded by the Kai Lords of Summerland, empowered as they are by the grace of Kai. There's an advanced mode and a veteran mode. I guess we're going to go with advanced mode. This medium difficulty option makes the Golden Blade a special item which can only be used in section where it is specifically mentioned. You can benefit from the Summer Sword's normal bonuses to combat skill, but only in situations where a specific mention of the weapon is made, such as the text asking if you possess the Summer Sword before a battle. In veteran mode, with this hard difficulty option, the might of the Summer Sword grows stronger as Lone Wolf rises in rank. After the Summer Sword's eruption of power against Zagarna, its long-dormant strength is diminished and needs time to recover. In veteran mode, you may use the advanced mode rules, making the Summer Sword a special item usable only at certain times, but in addition, its base combat skill bonus is only +4 in the Kai series, +6 in the Magnakai, and +8 in the Grandmaster. Make no mistake, even with the Summer Sword at its full strength, many fights will be hard. You will need all your wits and no small measure of luck to defeat the Darklords and emerge victorious. Feel free to experiment with these options as long as your journey feels challenging and exciting to you. There is no wrong way to play. Strange because there's kind of no default. Before the Summer Sword was a +8. I'm going to go with the Legacy way of play. Alright. After the Summer Sword, there's the Fire Sphere. Quite useful item that we got from Cult. A silver helmet. No helmet. Blown air in the wind. The Dagger of Vashna, which is a weapon-like special item. Can use that in combat when we don't have the Summer Sword. An herb pad, a canteen of water, not that either, and a jewel mace, which is another weapon-like special item. All the rest can stay at home in the monastery. Okay. Kai disciplines. During your training as a Kai Lord and in the course of the adventures that led to the rediscovery of the Book of the Magnakai, you have mastered all 10 of the basic Kai skills known as the Kai disciplines. These disciplines have provided you with an amazing arsenal of natural abilities, which have served you well in the fight against the Darklords of Elgadad and their agents. A brief summary of your skills is given here, but we pretty much know all of them. Camouflage, Hunting, Sixth Sense, Tracking, Healing, Weapon Skill, Mind Shield, Mind Blast, Animal Kinship, and Mind Over Matter. Regarding Magnakai disciplines, after having studied and absorbed the wisdom contained within the Book of the Magnakai, you have now achieved the rank of Kai Master Superior. This means that you have mastered 3 of the Magnakai disciplines listed below. It is for you to decide which 3 skills these are, as all of the Magnakai disciplines will be of use to you at some point during your adventure. Choose your 3 starting skills with care. The correct use of a Magnakai discipline at the right time could save your life. The Magnakai disciplines are divided into groups. Each group is governed by a separate school of training. These groups are called lore circles. By mastering all of the Magnakai disciplines in a particular lore circle, you can gain increases to your basic combat skill and endurance point scores. Refer to the rules section entitled Lore Circles of the Magnakai for more details about these bonuses. When you have decided upon and chosen your initial 3 Magnakai disciplines, enter them in the Magnakai discipline section of your action chart. So some of them are similar to what we had before, but a bit more powerful. Others are different. Before selecting them, we shall check the lore circles. Better to build a bundle of them. The best way will be either to select 2, because there are circles with 2 disciplines and some other with 3. Or 1, 2, 3, or 4 actually here. Yeah. Before we had in priority Sixth Sense, Eating, and Weaponsmith. Their weapon skill rather. Right now there's Weapon Mastery, which is the same thing. There's Curing instead of Feeding. And I'm not certain. There's Sixth Sense. But then seems like Divination. All of those are... I remember that last time I really wanted the Hunting skill, I think. But if I take on mastery, I need invisibility and pathmanship. Invisibility. This Magnakai skill allows you to blend in with your surroundings, even in the most exposed terrain. It will enable you to mask your body heat and scent, and to adapt the dialect and mannerism of any town or city that you visit. You choose the skill, write invisibility on your action chart. It's more like social invisibility. However, if we take the equivalent of Sixth Sense, that divination, I need all the Circle of Spirit things, and we won't have it right now. So I think we should wait till the end. They're more powerful usually, but less useful in the day-to-day life of Sky Lord. We really need curing though. And if we take curing, we must take animal control. And I remember, I don't really like animal control. Which is, a Magnakai discipline enables the Kai Master to communicate with most animals and to determine their purpose and intentions. It also enables the Kai Master to fight from the saddle with great advantage. You choose the skill, right? Animal control. Okay, divination's a no-go because it takes too many disciplines. Or we go for that at first, get a big boost of 6 points first, but in the next book, which will be technically easier, but we'll have only spirit disciplines. Psi Surge, Psi Screen, Nexus. I think I recall that Nexus was quite good. Master of this Magnakai skill will enable you to withstand extremes of heat and cold without losing endurance points, and to move items by your power of concentration. Yeah, telekinesis. Psi Surge, it's the... well, it can be used in combat, so... could do the job instead of Weapon Mastery. However, we need to use endurance points. We can still use Mind Blast though. Psi Screen is the same as the Mind Shield. Can be useful, I guess, too. Yeah, well, let's go for the big one then. So that means Divination, Psi Surge to complement the combat skill, and yeah, I don't remember why, but I recall that I really like Nexus. So that will be Divination, Psi Surge, Nexus. No healing, or rather, no curing. But I think they said that even if we don't use curing, we can use the healing ability. Yeah. We still have healing, which is quite good. We just don't have the added bonuses from curing. Okay, let's go with that. I'll need to rewrite that old mess here. Nation. We set Psi Surge. And Nexus. There's something special to write with those. Divination. This skill may warn the Kai Master. There's a skill, right divination, right nexus. They have nothing. Except a +4, -1, and +2 for Mind Blast. Okay. Why is there so many leading pixels there? Okay, kind of working. And we delete that for now. Divination size surge. Okay, let's calculate our combat skill for conveniencies. I'll recheck the power sorting. Sorry, summer sorting. Rather, sorry. Don't think they talk about it in the equipment. Nope, they don't. So in the appendix. Yeah. Oh yeah, we had more endurance I think before because of those, so I guess I rolled 13 before. Going to go check previous chart. No, 29. Or rather, those were our remaining endurance points, maybe. No special items or anything. 29. What did we have here? 29. No, nothing special. 28. I guess that we lost some. Ah, here we had 31. Yeah, makes sense. 29 plus 2. Okay, right. Ah, right. I need to check the here. 26, that was after the fight though. Yeah. So we should have 29 plus 6 actually. Okay. Good. 35. The armors and everything. Combat skill 8, 2, that's 10. And the 2 from Mind Blast, that's 12. Yeah, Mind Blast is patching up the fact that we don't have weapon mastery. And now I won't be tied down to a specific weapon like before, which is kind of an advantage. And that means that we rolled before 9 with the endurance points anyway. Right, okay, good. If you successfully complete the mission as said in Book 6 of the Lone Wolf series, you may add a further Magnakai discipline of your choice to your action chart in Book 7, as well as another weapon mastery slot if you have chosen that skill. This additional skill, together with your other Magnakai skills and any equipment, including special items that you have found and been able to keep during your adventures, may then be used in the next adventure in the Lone Wolf series Castle Death. Equipment. Your basic clothing comprises a green kite and a warm green weatherproof cloak, breeches and leather boots. Before leaving Summerlawn on your quest for the Lorestone of Varetta, you equip yourself with a map of the Stormlands, seed inside from cover, and a pouch of gold. To find out how much gold is in the pouch, pick a number from the random number table. Now add 10 to the number you have picked. Well, if we add 10... yeah, the total equals the number of gold, blah blah blah. If you have successfully completed previous Lone Wolf adventures, you may add this sum to the total of any crowns you may already possess. Remember, you can only carry 50 crowns. So, whatever plus 10, that gives 50 anyway. There we go. You may take your pick of the following items in addition to those you already possess, but remember, you may only carry 2 weapons. You may make up to 7... Take up to 7 of the following. 1 meal counts for 1 item. Well, we're going to need meals, for sure. Potion of Lamspur. We have a bottle of Korsha anyway. We don't need weapons. We could take a quiver though, which is a special item. And it contains 6 arrows. Take them off as they're used. Add this there. Quiver. Quiver and arrow. A bigger circle than I thought. Oh, let's kind of mean yes. Number of arrows carried. Let's carry this over. Six. Weapon mastery checklist. We have no weapon mastery. Okay. That's the first item. Bow. Yeah, if we're taking arrows, we bows, I guess. A weapon, though. Okay, well, we're going to keep our trusty axe. And we'll see later with the weapon mastery. We go back to a sword later on. Battle letter waistcoat, special item, is added 2 endurance points to your total. If you possess a battered leather waistcoat, you can replace it with a special item to your advantage. You can also wear it under a chainmail waistcoat if you possess one. Yeah, you can remove the battered one. That's nice. Thank you. Three doesn't seem to change anything though. Axe, dagger, a tinderbox. Well, we don't have one. We don't have a rope as well. We need to take a rope. How are we going to die if we don't have a rope? Tinderbox, rope. Magnakai shield, it's a +2 combat skill. Helmet. Oh, here's the helmet. The special item adds 2 endurance points to the total. Nice. We have space for helmet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, cool. Means we have 37 HP now. A torch, blanket, herb pouch. Special item optional. You have chosen curing and selected the play option 3. No, we didn't. Okay. Sounds like World of Wolf. A torch, blanket. Torch and blanket. We don't have space for all of this. I don't remember what is that stupid prism. So, well, I guess it's goodbye. And we're going to take a torch and a blanket. That's 4 items. The helmet, that's 5. Quiver, 6. Took the bow, 7. I think we're just fine. Tinderbox, rope, torch, blanket. Quiver, helmet, bow. Yeah, 7 items. Nice. We're ready to go. How to query and use your equipment? Well, we know everything about that. However, bow and arrows, which is new. During your adventure, there will be opportunities to use a bow and arrow. If you equip yourself with this weapon and you possess at least 1 arrow, you may use it when the text of a particular section allows you to do so. The bow is a useful weapon, for it enables you to hit an enemy at a distance. However, a bow cannot be used in hand-to-hand combat. Therefore, it is strongly recommended that you also equip yourself with a close combat weapon like a sword or mace. In order to use a bow, you must possess a quiver and at least 1 arrow. Each time the bow is used, erase an arrow from your action chart. A bow cannot, of course, be used if you exhaust your supply of arrows, but the opportunity may arise during your adventure for you to replenish your stock of arrows. If you enter combat armed only with a bow, you must deduct 4 points from your combat skill and fight with your bare hands. The rest of the things is the same thing. Food, yeah, we didn't take any meal though. Yeah, let's drop the blanket and take a meal because we have no way to eat. Let's hope that 1 will be enough and that we'll find some on the road somewhere or buy some on the road. Some spur keys. The keys are a backpack item unless told otherwise. Okay. Levels of Magnakai training. So we start at Kai Master Superior, which is rank number 3. And this is also our Magnakai rank. Rules for combat, they're the same as before. Lower circles of the Magnakai. So right now, we have completed one of them. No, not yet. Yeah, sorry about that. We almost have completed one of them. Next book, we're going to have the Circle of the Spirit, which gives 3 combat skill and 3 endurance points. Improve discipline, your skill improve. For example, if you possess the Magnakai discipline mission, when you reach the Magnakai rank of Sionkai, you will be able to spirit walk. Nice. We'll see in future books. Magnakai Wisdom. Your quest for the Lorestone of Varetta will be fraught with danger for the lands that border upon the River Storn, are wild and turbulent nations, constantly warring with one another. Use the map to help you during your adventure and make notes as you progress through the story, for they will be of great help in this and future adventures. Many things that you find will help you during your adventure. Some special items will be of use in future Lone Wolf adventures, and others may be red herrings of no real use at all, so be selective in what you decide to keep. Choose your 3 Magnakai disciplines with care, for a wise choice can enable any player to complete a quest no matter how weak their initial combat skill and endurance point scores. Successful completion of previous Lone Wolf adventures, although an advantage, is not essential for the completion of this Magnakai adventure. May the spirit of Sun Eagle guide you on the path of the Magnakai, or Summerland and the Kai. There we go. The Kingdoms of Terror. Section 1. The courtyard of the Kai Monastery is strangely silent on the morning that you begin your quest. A blanket of frost sparkles on the battlements, and the air is crisp and clear as you guide your horse along the monastery trail and into the Freyland forest. It is only a little later that you look back to see the tall grey towers of your stronghold silhouetted against the sky. You bid a silent farewell before entering the densely packed trees. You do not look back again. The long ride south is not without incident. On Raiders Road, the highway between the capital and the province of Ruanon, you are confronted by a ragged outlaw band. They demand your gold, but all they receive from you is a harsh lesson in the powers of a Kai master. You fight them and they flee in confusion, leaving 3 of their number dead on the highway. After this encounter, you are given a wide berth by all of the other unsavory characters of this bleak and desolate region. In Ruanon, you are greeted with a hero's welcome by the lord of the land, Baron Vanalund. He and his people will never forget the debt of gratitude that they owe to you, for it was your courage that once saved them from destruction at the hands of a renegade Vesagonian warlord. You are made so welcome by the Ruanese that your quest is in danger of being neglected in the endless round of banquets and celebrations held in your honor. However, you are ever mindful of your duty, and the time soon comes for you to leave the mining town and venture south once more. Long ago, the highway from Ruanon to Qualen was torn in two by a terrible earthquake that scarred the land for hundreds of miles. The deep crevasse known as the Chasm of Doom, for its cataclysmic opening cursed the surrounding countries in the long term, later extended eastwards and destroyed the surrounding city of Maken, becoming known as the Maken Gorge ever since. The Chasm of Doom's fathomless depths are cursed with a dreadful legacy. It was here, during the age of the Black Moon, even before the destruction of Maken, that King Hulnar killed the mightiest of the Darklords, Lord Vashna, whose body, along with the corpses of all his followers, was cast down into its bottomless reach. Legend says that his death cry will echo throughout the gorge until he rises once again to wreak his vengeance upon Summerland and the House of Hulnar. You are anxious to go by the impassable Chasm of Doom, during the forced long detour to the free city-state of Kajern. Now the only land road to reach the Stormlands from your country. The Kajern Highway is however a far more welcoming prospect than a visit to the haunted ghost city of Mackin, even as this place was visited by Sun Eagle during the first step of his Magnakai quest. Gradually, the fertile plain of the Rhiannon homelands gives way to the sparse vegetation along the borders of the dry main. There, like a jewel rising out of the desert, lays the city-state of Kajern. Your stay in the City of Merchants is a brief but profitable one. A stroke of luck, assisted by the use of your Kai skills, gives you a much-needed win at the gambling house of the Silver Sage. With the gold you acquire, there you replenish your supplies and purchase a fresh mount for your ride to Quarlen. 5 days later, you arrive safely at the outskirts of Quarlen, and in the evening twilight, find yourself gazing upon the fortified wall that surrounds this quiet river town. To reach Varetta, you must cross the river, and only here at Quarlen is there a bridge, which spans the fast-flowing waters of the Qual. The highway divides as it approaches the town wall, where there are 2 gates that provide access to its east side. First choice of the adventure. If you have the Magnakai discipline of pathmanship, we don't. You choose to approach the north gate of Quarlen or the south gate. Take a look at the map. We started over there in the north, came to Rhiannon, taken a bunch of banquets, celebrations, and we went over there off map to the east to Kajern, across the river, and we're at Quarlen here. Can either take the south gate or the north gate. Cross over the river Qual here. I feels like Southgate. Sure why though. You rein in your oars beneath the wide stone archway of the south gate. From a narrow slit in the thick wall, there echoes the harsh voice. "Rider, show your pass!" There is the dull scrape and clunk of a bolt being drawn, and 2 swarthy guards, dressed in chainmail, appear. They eye you suspiciously and repeat their demand to see a pass. If you choose to tell them that you do not have a pass, or you can decide to try to ride past them and enter through the open gate, or we can try to attempt to bribe them so that they will let you pass. Will they shoot on sight if we tell them that we don't have a pass? Well, be open with them. Technically, we're going to Varetta, not to Quarlen. So. Bah! Exclaims one of the guards contemptuously. We have no time for witless wanderers. Go back to Kajern if you have no business here. He spits at the ground, and the guards turn around and amble back towards the open town gate. Could ride them again. Ride past them or simply enter by the north gate. Maybe the north gate is more sympathetic. A peasant wagon and a merchant caravan, both bearing the Toa tree emblem of Kajern, are waiting in front of the town gate. You bring your horse to a halt and take your place in line as slowly the great door of rust-red iron creaks open. A guard appears and gestures to the wagon and caravan to enter, but he brandishes his spear menacingly as you prepare to follow close behind. The town levies 3 gold crowns, stranger. Pay or turn away. Well, 3 gold crown. Not much. Forgot to enter the different paragraphs just in case something bad happens, because as you know, if we die, we'll simply go back to a previous choice. Then we went south here. And then we went to the gate, paid the toll. There we go. You enter a wide street where black iron lanterns swing above the doors of shops and houses. Their oily black smoke stains the walls and adds a pall of gloom to the darkening sky. The street descends towards the river Quall, where flatboats lie moored at the rich merchant wharfs. Farland stands at the most northerly point on the river that can be navigated by boat and barge, and it is here that the river connects with the caravan routes to Cajern and the Last Lands. This vital trade connection ensures the financial future of the town. At the approach to a wide stone bridge, you see an impressive-looking hostelry with extensive stables and outhouses. A painted shield hangs above the courtyard gate, proudly displaying its name, the Barrel Bridge Tavern. The moment you enter the courtyard, a stable boy appears from nowhere and bids you welcome. He takes charge of your horse and shows you the door to the tavern hall. It is crowded, despite the early hour, and a roaring fire blazes in its great stone hearth. The smell of roasting beef makes your mouth water, reminding you that you have not eaten today. The price list indicates you have to pay 2 gold crowns to eat and 3 gold crowns for a room. If you do not have enough gold, that's fine. Otherwise, if you possess Magnakai discipline of penmanship or divination. Yeah, we have divination. Seated near to the fireplace are 3 surly-faced drinkers, their tunics stained with the grime of travel. Each wears a red badge upon their chest, embroidered with the crossed swords of Varetta. You can tell from their demeanor that they are soldiers of fortune, and probably in the pay of a captain who comes from the same city. If you wish to join these mercenaries and perhaps find out more about the city, or we can simply not approach them and ask for a room, or we can order food. Yeah, let's go talk with them. Still forgetting to enter the numbers. Six and 125. The soldiers are swilling ale and reminiscing about their campaign victories with wild exaggeration. They are brash and loud, yet an uneasy silence quickly descends when they see you approaching. You notice that their hands are no longer grasping mugs of ale. They are now resting nervously upon the hilts of their heavy-bladed swords. Can buy them a drink, ask permission to join them, or simply ignore them and sit elsewhere. It's time to show the money. The three men exchange wary glances before offering you a seat. A pock-marked warrior snaps his fingers and shouts across the crowded hall. "Wench, 4 flagons of ale!" Beer is drawn into 4 large earthenware vessels, each holding half a gallon of ale. Staggering beneath their combined weight, the serving girl finally arrives and places the flagons on the table. "8 gold crown, please," she says to you breathlessly, with perspiration standing out on her freckled brow. But we offered them to buy them a drink, so we have the option to pay or not to pay. Okay, there we go. "A toast to our new friend!" cries the soldier with a pock-marked face. "Honor in battle!" shouts the red-haired man to his left. "And a full purse for the victor!" retorts the other. They laugh heartily and raise the flagons to their lips. Their smiling faces are completely hidden by the jugs as they gulp down their fill. A full minute of silence passes before the 3 jugs are slammed to the table, emptied completely of ale. The strong beer soon dissolves their guardedness, and they become very talkative about themselves. You take this opportunity to ask them what they know about the Lorestone of Varetta.
"Legend,"
belches the redhead. "Bit of nonsense." "Not so," interrupts the puck-faced one. "It's real enough, but it was lost years ago. The Lorestone is magical. They say it holds a power that can turn an ordinary man into a king." Upon hearing this, the other soldiers begin to snigger. The puck-faced soldier ignores them and continues. "The Lorestone isn't any longer in Varetta. Hundreds of years ago, during the War of the Lorestone, it was stolen by a Ceylonese prince who used it in battle to inspire his followers. That fool believed that it made him invulnerable. However, this was not so. He was killed in a battle aboard this barge at Rem or Luyen, and the Lorestone was lost when it fell from his hand into the depths of the River Storm. Yet that is not the end of the story. I've heard many tales about this scepter having been found, but none are really true. Legend holds that whoever wields the true Lorestone shall be the rightful ruler of all the Stormlands. For this reason, more than any other, the Lorestone is coveted by many unscrupulous lords who dream of having such dominion. If you wish to know more, you shall go to Varetta. There are many learned folk who have devoted their entire lives to the study of the Lorestone. The scholars and sages of Brass Street, for example. Ah yes, the sages. They'd be the ones who could help you best. You thank the soldier for his assistance, and then you take your leave of the company. We're up to eating now. Brass Street and the sages. You choose a seat near the corner, one that is laid for dinner and offers a clear view of the hall. A serving woman soon appears. She's carrying a platter laden with roasted meat, and she proceeds to stack a generous helping onto your plate. 2 gold crowns, if you please, she says, presenting an open and bloodied by the food. You pay her and settle down to your feast. Starts to be a costly night. While you're eating, you are approached by the innkeeper. He is a fat, oily individual with small, piggish eyes. My lad tells me that he's tended to your mare. She's in good hands here. These are the best stables in our quadrant. The man shifts nervously from one foot to the other, as if he is uncomfortable in your presence. You'll be wanting a room, I take it. You finish a mouthful of food before nodding your reply. Well, you're in luck, my friend, he answers, obviously relieved that you appear to be a paying guest. We have one room left, room 17. He produces a plain iron key from his apron pocket and sets it down beside your plate. That'll be 3 gold crowns, in advance. You pay the innkeeper and slip the key into your tunic pocket. Yeah, coastly night in town. Suddenly there is a mighty crash as the hall door is slammed shut. Into the tavern strides a black-browed young lordling wearing a flamboyant costume of ebony and gold. He makes a ceremonious display of removing his velvet cloak and pompously demands food and wine. It takes 3 serving women and the innkeeper to see to his wishes. His manner is so insulting that you are not surprised to see the many scars that disfigure his young face. He must be continually provoking fights and duels. The lordling chooses to seat himself at a table already occupied by a small, thin, inoffensive old man. Within seconds there is a thunderous outburst of foul language. The lordling grabs the old man by the throat, lifts him one-handedly from his seat, and hurls him to the floor. You stinking, sniveling toad! How dare you sit with me? He bellows. Bewildered and frightened, the little man fumbles an apology, but to no avail. The lordling kicks back his chair and towers over the wretch, his hand now clasped around the silver hilt of his sword. The tavern crowd falls silent. They're viewing the scene with relish, like spectators at the Vesagonian arena, for clearly the lordling's intention is to kill the helpless old man. If you possess a bow and wish to use it, it's quite a lot shooting with a bow in the middle of the tavern. Well, we could actually make a nice shot and just disarm the man. Yeah, let's think like Robin Hood for a second there. With a speed and grace of movement that marks you out as a Kai master, you load, take aim and fire. Your arrow pierces the lordling's forearm as his sword is descending, causing his blow to splinter stone, not skull. Oh yeah, one less arrow. He utters a shrill cry and spins around, cradling his wounded arm as he staggers back. Curse you, scum! He shrieks. I am Rourke, high-born of Abory. I shall have your life for this, mark my words. Trembling with pain and fury, he struggles in vain to regain his composure. Loudly he demands his sword and cloak from the innkeeper, before stumbling into the night, amidst a welter of threats and vile curses. My humble thanks, says the frail old man as you help him to his feet. I am forever in your debt. Taking him by the arm, you escort him to his stable, where he gathers up his scattered belongings. My name is Cyrillus. I am a magician, he says meekly, as if apologizing for some weakness or abnormality. I claim no great understanding of the arcane.
My talents are modest by any standard. I only dabble in simple tricks, earning my keep with amusements and sleights of hands to entertain the courtiers of Varetta.
Your expression betrays you, and the old man is quick to note your look of sudden interest when he says the word Varetta. Might be a sage of Varetta. We can ask him about the Lorestone, or not at all. Let's poke around, kick stones, uncover insects and stuff. The old man narrows his mousy eyes and looks at you with a cautious gaze.
It is but a legion. Some say it contained great power. Others say its power existed only in the minds of those who crave to own it. Whatever the truth is, the Lorestone has been lost for hundreds of years.
You sense that the old magician is not telling you all he knows about the Lorestone. Oh, big thing here, because it's the time to reveal our identity or not. Well, we saved his life. It better be man of trust. But all our enemies will know. We're so obviously holding a Kai shield, clothed in all green. Yeah, well, I don't feel really hidden right now. Cyril's eyes open with such surprise that you can see the startled whites around his mousy brown pupils.
Lone Wolf,
He whispers incredulously.
I should have known. Humble apology. I thought that perhaps you sought the Lorestone for less than honorable reason.
An excited Cyrillus talks at great length about the legend of the Lorestone. You learn that it remained in Varetta after Sun Eagle's quest, where it was set into the throne of Liris in the Tower of the King. Hundreds of years ago, during the War of the Lorestone, it was stolen by a Salonese prince called Cascor. He set the stone upon a gold scepter and used it in battle to inspire his fanatical followers to crush his foes. He believed it made him invulnerable, but this was not so. He was killed on his royal barge during a battle at Rem, and the Lorestone was lost when the gold scepter fell from his hand into the depths of the river Starn. There have since been many stories of the scepter having been found, but none of these fanciful tales were true. It was said that whoever wielded the Lorestone was the rightful ruler of all the Stormlands. For this reason it has often been sought by evil or unscrupulous warlords, and many have pursued the quest. None have been successful. Cyrillus does not know where the Lorestone is, but he does know a respected man in Varetta who claims to know its exact whereabouts.
Let me ride with you to Varetta, and in return for the privilege, I shall take you to this man.
Your basic Kai instincts inform you that his offer is genuine. Gladly, you nod your agreement and arrange to meet him in the tavern courtyard at dawn. Nice, nice. It paid to be kind. A shrill cock-crow heralds the dawn of a new day. By the time you have dressed and gathered together your equipment, Cyrillus is already waiting for you in the courtyard below.
A glorious morning,
he says cheerfully, pointing up at the cloudless sky with his slender oaken staff.
We'll have no difficulty reaching the halfway inn by nightfall.
You bid farewell to the innkeeper and his son and urge your horses out on the narrow street that leads to the West Gate House. By mid-morning you are riding across gentle hills crested with yellow-leaf trees. The hilltops are shrouded with mist, but occasional rays of sunshine break through to lighten the lush green fields below. Time passes swiftly as Cyrillus recounts the histories and legends of the area. You learn that the rich and fertile kingdoms bordering the River Storn have a wild and turbulent past, swept by wars, divided by empires, split by national rivalries, and the ambitions of petty princes, who prey continually upon one another and the rest of the populace. Lyris is embroiled in war with Magador, Delden with Saloni, and Saloni with Slovia. It's quite a lot. We have some of them here. And Lyris. Okay, so Lyris is in war with Magador. Lyris is Varetta here. Is at war with Magador there. Across the river. Alright. Delden with Saloni. Saloni is on the map, I guess. Probably over to the west. Speaks about Rem. Oh, Rem is here. Oh, yeah, right. Saloni here. Delden, Saloni, boom, boom. And Saloni with Slovia. Well, Saloni is in deep shit. That much we know. Alright. War is everywhere. That's what it means. But since we're going only to Varetta, we have only to be concerned about the Magador. Battles are fought, lives are lost, and the land is pillaged with grim regularity. Only the mercenaries and the crows seem to prosper from these perpetual conflicts. It is mid-afternoon when you catch sight of a small village on the road ahead. There are many wagons parked beside the highway and a crowd has gathered in a field nearby. As you ride past, you notice a large placard nailed to the side of one of the wagons. Archery tournament, entrance to gold crowns. First prize, the silver bow of Duadon. Oh wow, we don't have weapon mastery though. It doesn't cost much for entering. Silver bow, I think something quite awesome if I recall. Yeah, we need to win this. Damn the Lorestone of Varetta, it's a legion. We need to win the silver bow of Duadon, which is in front of us. Cyrillus offers to stay and look after the horses while you take part in the contest. He says that archery holds no interest for him, but you suspect this is just an excuse for him to take an afternoon nap. You hand him the reins of your horse and hurry to join a line of men and women waiting to enter the tournament field. The event reminds you of a some landing village pageant, and the jugglers, the dancers, and the numerous side shows all add to the festive spirit. Eventually, you reach the gate, where a cheerful old lady is collecting the 2 gold crowns entrance fee. You hand over your crowns and enter a large tent where the other competitors are busily stringing their bows. If you have a bow, yeah, well, you do. We want a better one. A small, flat-faced man dressed in a silver-braided jerkin enters the tent and calls for everyone's attention. Quickly he explains the rules that govern the tournament, and then he ushers you onto the range. At the far end of the field stand a line of targets, each with 10 colored rings marked 0 to 9. Each archer is given 3 arrows with which he must get a minimum score of 8 in order to qualify for the next round of the tournament. Pick 3 numbers from the random number table and add them together. If you have the Magnakai discipline of weapon mastery with bow, add 3 to your total, but we don't. In this instance, the weapon mastery with bow bonus is added just once to the final total of your 3 picks. Okay, 3d10, no bonuses. Go, let's go. Oh yeah, 14. It is 8 or higher. Your score qualifies you for a place in the final. Only one other archer has scored more than 8 points. Well, it will be easier then. His name is Alton. He is a tall man with rugged features, a ranger from the mountains to the north, namely the Quarland Range which borders the Magnakai Gorge. He wields a longbow crafted from orange toa wood, and his skill with his weapon is formidable. It will be a challenging contest. Alton, combat skill 24, endurance, which is target points, 50. That's a lot compared to our 37. The combat ratio is 24. We don't have the summer sword, which means only +4. Do the shield count though? Well, size surge most probably does. Combat ratio will be so horrible. -6, I think. If I'm correct. The tournament final is played out using the normal rules for combat. However, you may not gain bonuses from a shield or from any armor or from any weapon other than a bow. In this instance, weapon mastery with bow grants you the 3 combat skill bonus points that weapon mastery with melee weapons will normally give you. You can use Mind Blast during this combat if you want to disturb Alton with your psychic powers, but not Size Surge, as using this Magnakai discipline will be too painful for the ranger and could be noticed by the organizer. Alright. We can cheat, okay. That means that we have 18 combat skill. Yeah, like I thought so. The only difference is that you begin with 50 endurance or target points. Any endurance points that you may lose are deducted from these target points. If you obtain a K in the combat result table, you or Alton just lose 10 target points. Your normal endurance score remains unchanged throughout the contest. The first one to lose all 50 of his target points loses the tournament. You need not erase any arrows from your action chart during this tournament, as the organizers provide arrows to ensure there is no trickery. If you're using the jack-in, we don't have a jack-in. Need a good combat ratio, however our endurance points are 50. Let's prove that we are the best archer in the north. Okay, check the combat skill table there. Combat results. -6. We need to roll 5 or better. Not so bad. Let's roll 5 dice at once. 6, 5, 6, 2, 5. Okay. Five against 4. 4, 4, that's 9, 8. 5 against 4, that's 14, 12. 2 is bad. 15, 18. And 5 is equal. 19, 22. We add one really bad shot. Here we go again. 5, fine, I think. 3, 6, 2, 8, 5. Ugh. 2 against 5. 5, 4, that's 7, 9. That's 1, 6, that's 8, 15. 8. 15, 17. And 5 is equal. 19, 21. Oh. It's a bit better than us. That's not correct. 19, 21. Yeah, I closed the gap by 1. Yeah. Let's roll 2 dice, I guess. No, it will end the fight. So let's roll 1 by 1 and see how it goes. 5, that's even. Oh. So close. To not lose, we need to roll 5 or higher. And to win, we need to roll 7 or higher. Ow! That hurts. Ah! Such a bad roll. Damn. We need to kill the man now to get the silver bow. Damn. Such a bad roll. Oh! We have the crystal. It's stupid to use that in a contest. But we have the crystal star pendant. Yeah, let's re-roll that. Come on, Banadon. Help a friend in need here. Oh yeah, 8. Nice. And we win. That's such a cheap shot using the Crystal Star Pendant for that. Okay. I hope I won't regret it at the fight with the big bad boss at the end. Alden's the first to lose all of his 50 target points. That's what happened. Sorry, man. A loud cheer shatters the hushed silence when your arrow strikes home. You have won! The villagers are thrilled to have witnessed such an exciting tournament. They press forward and crowd around you, offering you their generous praise and congratulations. The little man in the braided jerkin presents you with your prize. It is a magnificent bow made from the wood of a rare silver oak tree. This weapon-like special item will add 3 points to your total whenever you are using a bow, and are instructed to pick a number from the random number table. Enter it in the special item section of your action chart as the silver bow of Duadon, and make a note of its unique bonus. The +3 bonus to your random number choices when using this bow can be added to the +3 bonus you may already gain from having weapon mastery with bow. This will give you a very useful +6 points. As with the bonus for weapon mastery with bow, you may add this bonus only when determining the success of a bow shot. Pretty nice. Really very nice. After making a short speech in praise of the skill of your competitors, you thank the villagers for their kindness and generosity. Then proudly you shoulder your valuable prize and head back to Cyrillus. You are eager to tell him the good news. Continue, pick a number from the random number table. Damn, Cyrillus, I hope you're not dead, man. 8. It is 4 or more. Less than a mile from the village. The road descends into a narrow valley where a castle, part of which has fallen into ruin, is set on a rock shelf beneath a mossy precipice.
Castle Tonor,
says Cyrillus, shielding his eyes from the glare of the warm afternoon sun.
It's a place of pilgrimage for many people. The water from its famous spa has great healing property.
He leans forward, removes a glass jar from his saddlebag, and offers it to you.
Tonor water could have its uses for warriors such as you.
Can take the glass jar and collect some Tonor water, or we can decline Cyrillus' suggestion to explore Castle Tonor. Well, we don't really have space for that. That's the problem. I doubt it's a special item. We can go look anyway. See afterward if we just smash the jar of water on the ground. The path which leads to Castle Tonor is steep, slippery, and far too treacherous to be attempted on horseback. Cyrillus offers to stay and look after your horse while you fetch some spa water, saying that he is too old to climb the hill track. You smile, suspecting that it is just an excuse for him to stay here and take an afternoon nap. The guy is napping a lot. The castle is less than a mile from the highway, yet it takes over half an hour to complete the hazardous climb to the rock shelf. The crumbling castle walls are covered with damp foliage and mildew, and the overhanging precipice envelopes the keep with its gloomy shadow. You follow the sound of dripping water until you find yourself in a small chapel. Here you discover a rivulet of sparkling spa water trickling from a crack in the altar stone. As you kneel at the altar, filling your glass jar, you hear a noise. You are not alone. If you have the Magnakai discipline of Hunt Mastery, we don't. You turn your head to see a shambling, blunt-nosed horror emerging from the shadows. It emits a hideous, snickering cry and lashes out with one of its 4 razor-sharp claws, sending you tumbling backward across the muddy flagstones. You quickly regain your feet, but the surprise and ferocity of its attack has left you with a gaping wound in your arm. Lose 3 endurance points. Well, the water will be useful then. The creature's eyes glow with hatred as it comes shuffling hungrily towards you. If you have a bow, bow. Have the silver bow. We're using a lot of arrows though. There is only enough time for you to fire 1 shot before the monster is upon you. To stop the creature dead in its tracks, you must hit a vital organ, but in the gloom of this ruined chapel, it is difficult to see your target clearly. We can shoot the creature's eyes, the heart, or the legs. I think the legs will be good. We just hack the creature on the ground afterward, and it's an easier target. The ghastly sound of the creature's hungry cry chills your blood. It is barely a few feet away when you let your arrow fly. Pick a number. 6. If you have the Magnakai Discipline of Weapon Mastery, we don't, but we have the Silver Bow of Duadon, which means it's a 9 if it is 4 or higher. Well, it wasn't that hard. The arrow thuds into its right leg, causing it to shriek out loudly and lose its footing. Your quick thinking has bought you enough time to unsheath a hand weapon and attack the monster. Because the creature is now lying face down, do not deduct any endurance points you may lose in the first 2 rounds of this combat. You may evade combat at any time by escaping through the arch by which you entered the chapel. Yeah, go, quick thinking. A Yashat. Combat skill 22. Endurance 32. So we're +6 combat skills. Think it will be fine. +6. A good roll will be about 3 or 4 and higher. A 7, that's nice. 12 against 0. And then less nice. Still 7 against 3. Or it's the 9-2. The other way. And another 2. Well, dead. It hurt a lot. We have 11 paragraphs to go to get back all our endurance points. You win the combat. The creature shudders and its arms jerk as it claws at the air. As it dies, its body twitches with a few final convulsions. Stare down at the hideous carcass, but quickly pull away when you notice that its fur is alive with crawling parasites. They know instinctively that their host is dead, and they are now abandoning his body in search of a new one. You hurry over to the altar, where you fill your glass jar with tonor water. Healing spa water will restore 6 endurance points. You may drink 1 jar full of the water now, and you can refill the jar and put it in your backpack for future use. Alright, so 26 plus 6, 32, we're only 5 down. And we're there. We could actually drink the bottle of Korsha. Get back to 36 and trade it for what's it called? Tonor water. I guess that numbered section brings us to 37 already. Here we go. Back to full health. And we have a better healing potion. Can also be carried in your ebb pouch. Ah. Damn, it will have been nice. We can search the rest of the chapel, or leave the chapel and go back to Cyrillus. But maybe there's something else. Chapel has lain derelict for many years, open and exposed to the elements. Very little has survived. In one corner you discover a gaping hole that opens onto another chamber below. Its floor is covered with large, shiny black puddles, and the overpowering stench of mold and decay is carried upward by a howling draught. A rat sits on the remains of a corpse, staring up at you in surprise, the dull green light of the chapel reflecting in its peppercorn eyes. As you become accustomed to the gloom, you realize that this room is in fact full of corpses. They were all unfortunate victims of the Yasha. Then your gaze is drawn to a gleaming bronze warhammer that lies across the chest of a smoldering corpse. Everything around it is encrusted with the detritus of decay, yet this weapon is spotless. It appears to have only recently been forged. You have the Magnakai discipline of Nexus. Yup. That's nice, without endangering ourselves. You concentrate your Magnakai power upon the warhammer, and very slowly it rises from the chest of the corpse. You will it to move upward, and as soon as it appears through the gaping hole, you catch hold of it and examine it closely. It is a very fine weapon, wrought of a metal called bronze. This looks exactly like newly cast bronze, but it is not tarnished like any ordinary alloy of copper and tin. If you wish to keep this bronze warhammer, mark it on your action chart as a magical weapon, like special item. When you use it in combat, it will add +1 to your combat skill, or 2 if you fight plate armored foes. Huh. Okay. Satisfied that nothing else of value has been overlooked here, you leave the chapel and return to Cyrillus. Pick a number from the random number table. Poor guy will be dead one day. 9. It's 4 or more. Beyond the Tonor Valley, I wonder if there's the Tonor Castle on the map. Probably not, but... not really. Beyond the Tonor Valley, the highway twists and climbs across wooded hillsides and often plunges into narrow valleys where bubbling, trout-laden streams wend their way southwards to the Quarl. Butterflies gather in clouds above clumps of sweet-smelling flowers bordering the road, and the constant twittering of birdsong adds a sense of tranquility to the beautiful countryside. It comforts me to know there is still one part of Lyris where war and death for unfamiliar visitors, says Cyrillus, puffing nonchalantly on a long-stemmed clay pipe. Alas, nowadays such peace is rare. The highway passes the ruins of a monastery and then descends steeply towards some log huts, clustered in a semicircle at the approach to a stone bridge. A tall gate, flanked by 2 mighty towers of stone, commands the access to the bridge. The Dinka Gate, says Cyrillus. The toll is 3 gold crowns to cross the bridge, unless of course the gatekeeper happens to be your brother. He gives a sly wink and smiles. This may take a little while. I haven't seen my brother Esmond for more than a month, and he's bound to want to hear all the latest gossip from Quarland before he lets us cross. Cyrillus points out 2 of the log huts where wooden signs carved in the shapes of an ale tankard and a loaf of bread hang above the doors. The best bread and ale in all of Lyris. Mention my name and you'll be treated like a king. You're feeling hungry and thirsty after your long ride, and the prospect of free refreshment is very tempting. We can go into the ale hut, the bread hut, or stay with Cyrillus. Don't have food. That's why I'm going to go with the bread. I wanted to go with Cyrillus, but well, anyway. You tie the reins of your horse to a post beside the hut, and then you approach the door. Cyrillus is announcing his arrival by rapping on the Dinka Gate with his staff and shouting to his brother to open up. You chuckle at his growing impatience as he hammers repeatedly at the gate. If his brother is anything like Cyrillus, he is probably fast asleep. Inside the hut, you are greeted by the mouth-watering smell of freshly baked bread. Pyramids of loaves are stacked high in wicker-work hampers, and trays of pies, flans, cakes, and biscuits cover the counter. There is nobody here, but an open door reveals another room at the back of the hut. You can call for service or help yourself. That's kind. Yeah, let's call for service. You're supposed to have everything free anyway. There is no reply. You walk around the counter and peer into the back room, but it also appears to be deserted. Your suspicions are aroused when you notice that both the oven door and the back door to the hut are both wide open. A rocking chair is lying on its side, and there is other evidence of a recent struggle. You are about to search the room when you hear a faint cry for help. It is Cyrillus. He is in trouble. Damn, the adventure isn't even started yet. You race out of the hut to see your traveling companion struggling with 6 armored horsemen. You have him surrounded, and his attempts at resistance are futile. A blow from a mace knocks him unconscious, and limply falls across the neck of his horse. A moment later, all but one of the riders come galloping across the bridge with their captive in tow. The remaining horseman, a warrior swathed from head to toe in black and gold armor, raises a crossbow and takes aim as you run towards your horse. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Magnakai discipline of divination or on mastery, subtract 5 from the number you have picked. Okay. That's -2. Really lower than 6. As you hear the dull click of the crossbow trigger, you throw yourself to the ground to avoid the speeding missile. The bolt grazes your scalp, loses 2 endurance points, and embeds itself in the side of the log hut. A moment later, you are back on your feet. The warrior discards his now empty weapon and reins his horse about in order to follow the others across the bridge. If you have a bow, yeah, it's time. Again. The warrior gallops off with his cloak billowing from his shoulders like a pair of huge black wings. As his horse speeds across the bridge, you draw an arrow to your lips and take careful aim. You know you must hit him with your first shot. He is galloping away far too fast for you to be able to get in a second shot. Pick a number from the random number table. That's 9 plus 3, 12. It is 8 or higher. Your arrow strikes home with deadly accuracy, penetrating the rider's armor at the base of their skull. You see them throw both arms into the air before they topple out of the saddle to land, with a crash of metal plate, in the middle of the bridge. There is no doubt in your mind that this enemy is now dead. If the arrow did not kill them, then the fall in heavy armor must surely has. Can search the body. We don't really have time, though. We really don't really have time. I sure want to know who the guy is, but... Maybe we can take a quick look before pursuing the others. Still have our horse. You prise open the visor of the dead warrior's helmet, half expecting to see the rough features of a bandit or highwayman. Instead, you find the cold and empty eyes of a dead woman staring back at you. The shape of her body was concealed by the thick plates of armor, and a clutch of Magra's reeds in the mouthpiece of her visor had effectively deepened and disguised her voice. Puzzled as to why she concealed her identity, you find few clues to identify her. An axe, a pouch containing elven gold crowns. It would help a little bit. A dagger and a silver brooch are all she carried. Hired killers travel light. You examine the silver brooch and decide to keep it. Mark this as a special item. Or stuff for the monastery later. You do not need to deduct an item if you already carry the maximum 12. Okay. There is something vaguely familiar about her face, but you cannot quite put your finger on it. Then your thoughts return to the plight of your companion. His life is in danger. Without further delay, you mount your horse and gallop across the Denka Bridge in pursuit of him and his captors. The chase takes you deep into the heart of the Varetian Hills, and I think the adventure starts now. For real. Just put different music here. Soon the highway dips and twists as it plunges into the valleys and hollows that have been carved by fast-flowing streams, or climbing to dense woodland that clings precariously every precipice and crag. You often lose sight of the riders, but your basic eye skills of tracking and hunting enable you to follow their trail with ease. It is not until you reach a tiny village perched on the edge of a tree-lined crag that their trail becomes indistinct. However, you notice that there is a stony hill track on the far side of the village. It branches off the main highway and ascends into the trees. If you have the Magnakai discipline of Batman, nope. You choose to continue along the highway or explore the hill track. I will bet on the hill track. Near the crest of the hill, there is a small hut built close to the track. Outside on the porch sits an old woman peeling fruit with a wooden knife. She smiles a gap-toothed smile and bids you welcome as you bring your horse to a halt. You can ask her about the riders or ignore her. Let's ask just to see. "Don't passing by here," she says, her voice heavy with an island accent. "Track to go up Beacon Hill and no more than that." You sense that the old woman is telling you the truth. The riders have not come this way, damn, and the track leads nowhere. It is a dead end. You thank her for her advice and bid her farewell, then you turn around and descend the track. Bad choice, it was the village. As you reach the junction with the highway, you see the riders emerging in single file from behind a derelict cottage. They draw themselves into a circle in the middle of the village, and although they are out of earshot, you can tell by their movements and frantic gestures that they are having a heated argument. Suddenly the circle breaks, and they ride towards you with Cyrillus, still unconscious in tow behind the last rider. You urge your horse off along the track and take cover among the dense trees. If you have a bow and want to ambush them as they ride past, or you can choose to attack the last rider and attempt to retrieve Cyrillus. The last rider one is like a good idea, or we can let them pass and follow them. Last rider. With bated breath, you wait for the enemy to pass. As the last man rides into view, you break from cover and attack him with swift and fatal efficiency. He tries to raise his shield to block your deadly blow, but he does not react in time to save his life. As he tumbles limply to the ground, you cut the reins from his saddle and take off down the hillside with the unconscious wizard in tow. You hear confused shouting begin to break out on the road above you, and press your horse on and on. Fortunately, none of your pursuers are able to pick you off with a crossbow, and you come out on a lane. Trees grow thickly on either side of the way, and you have no choice but to follow this new path until it finally takes you back to the highway. Fortunately, deserted by your pursuers. Nice job. Your immediate peril prevents you from dwelling too deeply on the reason why these riders should be trying to abduct Cyrillus. He seems to be a poor prospect for a rich ransom, being neither wealthy nor seemingly powerful. As you reach the bottom of the wooded crag, a stone church and graveyard loom into view at a point where the highway turns sharply towards the west. Blocking the road, on a charger as black as midnight, sits a scar-faced young man. His eyes are set in a white and disfigured face, and they burn with a cold, dark glow. You recognize him immediately. It is Rourke, the lordling whom you defeated at the Barrel Bridge Tavern. If you possess a silver brooch... Oh, yes we do. The memory of the dead woman's face flashes into your mind as you stare into Rourke's eyes glittering darkly beneath his wide-brimmed hat. The resemblance is so striking, the same aquiline nose and sharp features, that you feel sure they must be related. Abruptly, the riders appear and spread out in a semicircle to surround you. A voice shouts out,
"Harla is dead! The Northlander killed her!"
The lordling's face is transformed into a mask of trembling hatred. Madness flashes in his eyes as he rips open the front of his tunic and tears free an amulet from a black chain around his throat. Come, come, Tagazin, I summon thee. From the pit of eternal pain I summon thee. Skin on your arms and neck prickles with fear as you hear Rourke's terrible invocation. You cast your eyes around, seeking an escape route, but only the churchyard offers a way past the sinister lordling and his guards. You spur your horse through the stone gateway, desperate to escape, but you are frozen in terror by what now lies ahead. Sounds so bad. Above the church, a whirlpool of darkness is taking form. Cast a tomb-like chill in everything beneath. Frost crystallizes on the grass and flowers, and a terrible sound fills the air as the earth begins to tremble and shake. Cracks appear in the ground beneath you, and suddenly a score of fleshless hands burst through the frozen soil to clutch at your horse. Shrieking with terror, it rears up and you are thrown from the saddle into the waiting arms of the warrior king dead. Yeah, that sounds like something I saw on the book cover. Undead Summonation. Combat skill 18. And plus 10 combat ratio. There. Endurance 35. Due to the surprise of this attack, deduct 2 points from your combat skill. Oh, okay. For the first 2 rounds only. Unless you have Magnakai Discipline of Fund Mastery. We don't. Moreover, you have no time to drink a potion before combat. Okay. The undead are immune to Psy, Surge, and Mind Blast. Damn. So, well, we lose here. Unless, if you possess the Summer Sword, you may double all endurance points losses inflicted upon your enemy. Oh, nice. Unless you possess the Magnakai Discipline of Nexus, you must deduct 2 endurance points for every round of combat you fight due to the intense supernatural cold. We have that. If you possess the Silver Brooch, add 2 combat skill to the Undead Summonation. For Warwick's personal hatred as fuel a terrible necromantic spell at work. Oh. The Brooch is bad then? Oh, well. At least we do double damage. And for the first real fight, start the battle music. All right. Pull 3 of them at once. Ooh, make this faster. Of all the rolls, with a +6, we need to roll, I think, at least 4. Well, 3 isn't bad. 8-3. 1 is 6-4, that's 14-7, and another 8-3, that's 22-10. We won't reach 22. 14-7. It's yeah, we're going to reach the other one. The enemy is dead, but we lost 10 endurance points. Really a bad fight. Did we have time to heal one before that though? Yeah, we had time to heal ourselves for the fight. With the healing skill. You win the combat. Good. Well, we didn't fight for a long time. As you destroy the last of the fleshless skeletons, you see that the struggle has now spread beyond the walls of the churchyard. From the depths of an open crypt, a shambling mass of zombies are hurling themselves at the riders, tearing the terrified warriors from their saddles. Rourke's summonation has spiraled horribly out of control. No living creature is now safe from the terror he has unleashed. The lordling turns and gallops away in blind panic, leaving his followers to their grisly fate. As it disappears, the swirling funnel of darkness slowly fades, and the undead stagger and fall, crumbling away into a fine dust, which is carried away on the evening breeze. You rush to the aid of the old magician. He lies mortally wounded, pinned beneath the body of his dead horse. As you cradle his head in your hands, his eyes flicker and open, and he forces a whisper from his blood-flecked lips.
Street.
If you have the Magnakai discipline of curing, I knew we needed that. Oh no, Cyrillus. Don't have curing. Healing is not enough, right? A trickle of blood seeps from the corner of the old man's mouth as his eyes flicker and close. He is dead. You bury him in the graveyard of the church where he fell and say a silent prayer to Kai and Ishir to watch over him on his final journey. Sadness fills your heart, and you take one last lingering look at the oaken staff that marks his grave before setting off once more on the highway to Varetta. Ah, the damn lordling. At least it's not the agents of the Darklords. Well, they killed my companion again. It's rare in Lone Wolf though. It is almost dark when you catch sight of a tavern on the road ahead. Two gathering torches set into rusty brackets illuminate the weather-worn sign that is nailed above the door. The Halfway Inn. You recognize the name of the establishment that Cyrillus spoke of this morning, and it grieves you that he is not here now to accompany you. Distant thunder rumbles through the hills as you stable your horse and enter the welcoming warmth of the inn's tap room. The place is alive with the chatter of merchants, the clink of glasses, and the crackle of a blazing fire. The center of the room is dominated by a small stage on which a conjurer is performing his tricks to the delight of the customers. You can watch the conjurer, or seek out the innkeeper and inquire about a room for the night. I don't know, watching the conjurer will just remind me of Cyrillus. Maybe it's a sage from Varetta. All the magicians are sages from Varetta. Having removed a bunch of flowers from the hair of a startled merchant and a clucking in from beneath the petticoat of the merchant's wife, the flamboyantly dressed conjurer calls for silence from his cheering audience before announcing his next trick. Two children shuffle onto the stage, their bodies and faces completely hidden by long black gowns that are tied at their foreheads. Only their hair, blonde and brunette, is visible. "I'm a boy," says the one with dark hair. "I'm a girl," says the one with fair hair. The voice identical to the first. The conjurer steps forward and says that they are a boy and a girl, but at least one of them is lying. He asks which is which and invites the audience to bet on the answer. Maybe one of them is doing ventriloquism. Yeah, I'm going to bet on the boy, but who can bet or not? Let's go betting. We have lots of gold crowns anyway. We need to take our mind off of Cyrus. Firstly, decide how many gold crowns you wish to wager and note this down in the margin of your action chart. After considering the problem, you decide that there can only be 4 possible combinations. You repeat the conundrum under your breath before making your decision. "I'm a boy," said the one with black hair. "I'm a girl," said the one with blonde hair. If you decide that they both spoke the truth, decided the first child spoke the truth and the second lied, first lied and the second spoke the truth, or both children lied. But the conjurer said that only one of them lied, right? No, only one of... They're both what they are. The conjurer steps forward and said they're a boy and a girl. At least one of them is lying. Well, if both of them lies, it works. Yeah. I need only 7 gold crowns, so I won't bet more than that. You are correct. The boy has blonde hair and the girl has black hair. Logically, you have concluded that they could not both have been speaking the truth, for the conjurer had stated that at least one of them was lying. If one was lying, then the other could not have been speaking the truth. Therefore, there was only one conclusion to be drawn. Both had lied. The conjurer pays you the number of gold crowns equal to that which you wagered. Yay. And we can get a room for the night. A little gambling game for Cyrillus. "Looks like you made it here just in time," says the cheerful innkeeper, pointing to a rain-streaked window pane. "It's going to be a rough night tonight, no mistaking." Discover that the room for the night costs 2 gold crowns, plus 1 gold crown for your horse's keep. A meal of black bread and hard-boiled eggs will cost you another 1 gold crown, unless you choose to eat a meal from your backpack. Nah. 45. Must in any case eat a meal now or lose 3 endurance points. Can pay the innkeeper for a night's lodging. I don't have enough gold. Nah, that's not a problem. You collect your key and climb the stairs to your room at the top of the inn. You sleep deeply, and at dawn you arise from your narrow bed to stand shivering in the fresh breeze that whistles through a cracked window pane. As the harsh light of morning floods the tiny garret, you see to your dismay that your backpack lies half open on the floor. Damn! A gaping hole has been gnawed from the flap. It is the unmistakable handiwork of rats. Any meals you had in your backpack have been eaten or ruined. Damn rats. Our meal of the beginning is gone. Erase them from your action chart, leaving the tavern and collecting your horse. The air is sweet, with the smell of wet grass. Sun rises above the trees to the east and mist billows across the hills on either side of the highway. By noon, you reach a small village where brightly decorated cottages surround a cobblestone square. A shrine with an enormous onion-shaped dome stands in the middle of the square. In its shadow sit a group of elderly people. They are tending to some shrubs with bright orange berries which grow in the shade. You possess the Magnakai discipline of curing. Nope. You can stop and investigate the shrine or continue on our way to Varetta. Well, we could ask some questions. The women smile as you dismount and approach the shrine. Welcome to the Shrine of the Warrior. You come in search of our sacred crop, do you not? Says a rosy-cheeked matron, as she dusts the leafy shrubs lightly with a square of patterned silk. The fruit of our haliter plant will give you strength in battle, says another, and she offers you a handful of the small orange berries. Oh, we can have haliter berries, I guess. Yeah. We have 1 space in the backpack. A handful of haliter berries costs 2 gold crowns. If you swallow them before a fight, it will increase your combat skill by 2 points for the first 2 rounds of combat, and then by 1 point for the duration of the fight. You may purchase up to 3 handfuls of haliter berries. Each handful counts as 1 backpack item, and can be considered as herb carryable in a herb pouch. Damn, I'll need a herb pouch. But you cannot swallow more than 1 handful during any one combat. When you have concluded your purchases, you may remount your horse and leave the village. You can take 1. It is late afternoon when you catch your first breathtaking glimpse of Varetta. Here we are, the main quest. Constructed on a massive plateau, this city has stood since time immemorial. The walls and buildings are immense, constructed from blood-red rock, and crowded together in complicated splendor. Great stone dragons ride along the battlements, their coiled tails entangling the gatehouses and portals of the outer wall, and spirals of sea-blue smoke rise from the mouths of angry-faced gargoyles, crouching like spies on top of the roofs and towers that fill the sky. The sun has set by the time you reach the east gate of Varetta. The guards in their scarlet tunics offer no challenge, and you pass easily into the wide streets of this magnificent city. The entrance gate road leads to a quadrangle. Here you notice a pillar of red stone that is etched with the names of the streets that lead away from the square. You can go north into Ellen Way, west into Coach Course, and south into Flute Street. And east, go back the street we have ridden, and maybe it's Brass Street. There's no name. Always towards the east. Little more than 100 yards from the east gate, by which you entered the city, you notice a brass plate that is fixed with polished brass spikes at the top of an arched doorway. The plague, and not the plague. There's a typo here. The plaque reads, "The Honorable Guild of the City Criers." You can dismount and enter the arched doorway, or not enter. Go north, go south. Well, maybe they can tell me where to go for the Brass Street. City Criers, they know their streets. Beyond the doorway, a flight of narrow stone steps leads to a small room. Books line two of the chamber's walls from floor to ceiling, and another wall is filled with racks of scrolls, handbells and parchments wound round with ribbons of green silk. Set into the remaining wall is a beechwood door, embellished with intricate carvings. Slowly it opens, and a tiny humanoid creature with unblinking crimson eyes bids you welcome. Instantly, you recognize the stunted features of a clown. Not a clown, a clown. "Good evening, sir," they say in a strong, deep voice that belies their small squat body. Well, they add me there. "Welcome to our guild house. How may we be of service?" If you wish to ask the clown for direction to Brass Street, or ask him about the Lorestone of Varetta, or not question the creature, yeah, we came for the Brass Street. "Certainly, sir. We of the Guild of City Criers are only too pleased to be of service," says the clown, as they waddle over to the bookshelves. They scamper to the top and remove a slim map from between a stack of papers, before scuttling back down and depositing it at your feet. "That will be 5 gold crowns, sir," says the creature in a firm but polite tone. Yeah, we can pay for the map of Varetta. We have enough money. In the dim glow of the street lantern, you unfold the map of Varetta and study the complicated network of roadways and alleys. Ah, it's a backpack item. Ah. Damn. I'm sure that the silver comb will be useless in this adventure. Press Street is located on the far side of the city, close to the west wall. A bell tolls, its dull clang echoing among the rooftops and towers. It is the curfew bell. Everyone must be off the streets within 1 hour. You will never reach the far side of the city in an hour, so you resolve to find a tavern for the night and resume your quest at dawn. You ride between ranks of carved stone idols whose mouths hold flickering torches that illuminate this broad avenue. Mercenaries of all races and nationalities pack the street, talking, boasting, or simply dozing quietly in the shadows. At the end of the street, you arrive at a junction where a woman dressed in filthy clothes sits nursing a crying child. As you pass, she holds out a grimy hand and begs you for gold crowns to buy food to feed her hungry baby. Ugh. They always send us beggars. Ugh. Don't like beggars in games. Let's ride away. You arrive at the tavern. Your first impression of this place is that it looks more like a huge banqueting hall than a seedy alehouse. The Inn of the Crossed Swords is the largest and noisiest tavern you have ever set eyes upon. A constant flow of soldiers pour in and out of its cathedral-like doors, and the adjoining stable seems large enough to house the horses of a small army. You stable your horse and enter the tavern just in time to witness a spectacular event. The middle of the hall has been cleared to allow a horse and rider to gallop the full length of the building. Bets are being placed on the rider's skill at skewering fruit on the point of his light battle lance. It reminds you of past training sessions at the Kai Monastery, but unlike those Kai horse trials, there is more than just the skill and the honor of the rider at stake here. Kneeling in a line along the length of the hall are 10 soldiers from the same regiment as the rider. These disgraced men and women have been accused and found guilty of cowardice in battle. The fruits which the rider must skewer are resting atop their nervous heads. If he should make the slightest mistake, then the men or women will lose their life. Of greater importance to the watching crowd of mercenaries is all the money the regiment has collectively wagered on the skill of their best rider. If you choose to stake some of your gold crowns on the outcome of this deadly show of horsemanship and battle skill, or we can instead approach the bar and engage one of the barmaids in conversation. Well, we need money. A huge fat-bellied mercenary is standing on a wooden box near the door. He's taking bets from the crowd of gold-hungry soldiers while his young assistants busily drum up business in the hall for their master. One of these grimy-faced boys approaches and asks you for your stake. Firstly, decide how many gold crowns you wish to stake on the event and note the sum in the margin. Maximum bet you can place is 10 gold crowns. Next, pick a number from the random number table. Oh wow, that's a lot of numbers. Okay, let's start by, I need 12, but I'm going to bet 10 because it's the max. Pick a number from the random number table. Okay. That's 1. Pick another number and add 3. 6. If the first number chosen is higher or equal to the second, including the extra 3, you win the bet. Oh damn. Wow. And if the second number is higher than the first number you picked, then the rider has successfully skewered all of the fruit without killing any of the men, and your stake money is lost. You may bet up to 3 times in this game. Huh. Sure, let's go all in. Oh, that's a good roll. That's a good roll. Hey! Victory. What happens when we win? Won twice. Oh, nice. Wow. So I lost 10. Bet 10 again. But I won and got other on top. Okay. Yeah, let's do the last round. With the same bet. Oh, well, we're back to square one. Well, it was fun. We bet on all rounds, but we didn't lose all our money. All the choices. Your betting has attracted some unwanted attention. Two shifty-eyed mercenaries have been watching you with more than a casual interest since you arrive at the Inn of the Crossed Swords. As the event ends and the crowds disperse, suddenly you feel the sharp point of a dagger piercing the back of your tunic. Your pouch or your life, whispers one of the thieves, his foul breath filling your nostrils. Make your choice and be quick about it. Do you have the Magnakai Discipline of Unmastery? No. We don't have the skill, so we can hand over all our gold. Well, they're robbers. No way. A Kai Lord, a Kai Master won't back down in front of thieves. You pull away and unsheath your weapon in one fast and fluid movement. The dagger grazes your side. Use 1 endurance point. Okay, since the last fight, how many we have? Need 10 numbered section. Yeah, we're really good. So we were back to full health, lost 1 HP. But you managed to avoid a serious wounding. Both men sneer maliciously as they close in for the kill. You cannot evade them and must fight them both as one enemy, the Backstabbers. Combat skill 18. Plus 10. And 25 endurance. Yeah, those are trash mob. Let's roll 2 dice at once. The 2 and a 6. 9-3. 14-1. That's 23 against 4. I need to roll 1 more. 7. And they're dead, no damage. Just only the 4. You win the fight, yep. Didn't even... was worth combat music. Your speedy dispatch of the robbers earn you 5 gold crowns, which you find in the pockets of the dead men. Okay. It also earns you the respectful glances of several mercenary captains who have witnessed your fight. One in particular is so impressed by your martial prowess that he approaches you and offers to buy you a drink. You sense that it is an honest gesture of friendship without hidden threat and gratefully accept his offer. The captain is an imposing man, tall, muscular, with a strong-jawed face that is unmarked by battle or disease. His blond hair is cropped close to his head, and likewise his beard and mustache are trimmed close to his tanned skin. You're invited to join his company, and as you drink your ale, you listen to their proud talk of war, of victories, of loot, and of wages. Never once do you hear them talk of defeat. The captain and his company have grown tired of the war in the north. Prince Genville of Elin is close to ruin after having sold all he owns to pay for a war against Baron Magnakai of Karskaste. It is a war that he cannot realistically hope to win. The prince's troops are demoralized and his mercenaries desert him at every opportunity. You learn that the captain is recruiting for a campaign in the south. The war between Saloni and Slovia has reached boiling point, and there is much gold to be had in the service of the Salonese prince Iwivin, while he lays siege to the city of Tekaro. You have the mien of a skillful warrior, says the captain thoughtfully, his steel blue eyes cold and unblinking. Why not join my company? I have need of a good fighters, and I pay with gold, not promises. We leave for Tekaro at dawn. Will you ride with us? Politely, you refuse the captain's offer, saying that you have come to Varetta on personal business. What business is there for a warrior other than war? Retorts the captain, the raucous delight of his soldiers. You finish your ale and bid the captain and his company good night. If you should change your mind, join us at Soren. We sail the river from there in 2 days' time. Map of Varetta. We do have one. You walk to the bar and make arrangements for a room for the night. The point with the map. Okay. There are many rooms, each of differing standard and price. A blackboard suspended by cords from the ceiling displays the tariff. Dormitory, 2 gold crowns a night. Single room, second class, 3 gold crowns a night. Single room with hot bath, 5 gold crowns a night. You may choose to stay in any of the above rooms, but remember to raise the relevant number of gold crowns. Yeah, well, the thieves are going to pay for the room. All in. The room is a disappointment. For 5 gold crowns, you were expecting some degree of luxury, but a small and shabby accommodation you find leaves a great deal to be desired. Steam rising from an open-topped barrel in the corner of the room clouds the air. At first you think it must be some form of heating, until you discover it is full of soapy water, and realize that this is your hot bath. The meager luxuries of Varetta do not come cheaply. You bathe before settling down to a good night's rest, but in the middle of the night you are woken by a bright light. A shooting star of sunlight brilliance arcs over the city, shedding a rainbow of color across your drab room. You watch as the star slowly fades, and then settle down to sleep once more. It seems as if you have only just closed your eyes when the loud and loathsome clang of the tavern bell fills your ears. All awake! All awake! A new day dawns, my fine brave lads and lasses! As the gruff voice of the tavern keeper echoes throughout the inn. You gather up your equipment and go to collect your horse from the stable. Your night's rest restores 3 endurance points. Well, with the other numbered section, we're back to full. Make the necessary adjustment to your action chart before setting off on your search for Brass Street. As you ride west along a wide avenue of weathered red stone, you take in the early morning sights of this magnificent city. Window shutters slam open as the Varetians awake to a new day, and the smells of breakfast and freshly brewed jala waft towards you from shop doorways. At the center of the city, cross a square paved with crystal slabs and pass beneath an archway of polished green stone. Stately halls and public buildings give way to dust-worn shops, and a park full of glistening flowers with veined leaves of red, gold, and pink. Beyond the park, a street paved with white gravel leads off towards a fortified tower, the tallest one in the city. This is the Tower of the King, and it stands at the entrance to Brass Street. Turning into Brass Street, the sound of bubbling water and quiet chanting drifts towards you on the still air. Figures in brown robes, their heads covered by hoods, glide silently across the wide gravel path. You ride under an archway and enter the enclosed courtyard of a grand building. It is the Hall of Learning. Suddenly a tingle runs the length of your spine, and you sense that you are close to your goal. Near the door of the hall, there is a white marble sign which indicates the location of 3 chambers: the observatory, the library, and the temple. Between the 3 options, a sage will be in the library, I think. At the end of a cool grey marble corridor, you find yourself standing before the library door. The brown-robed figures you saw earlier when first you entered the courtyard, they've all vanished. The hall is now deserted and as quiet as the grave. The library, too, is empty save for the thousands of books that line its impressive stone shelves. On the far side of the room there is another door, the only other exit from this grand library. Well, I don't think we are going to search for books, but more for people. Go to the other door. The door clicks shut behind you. It takes a few seconds for your eyes to grow accustomed to the dimly lit interior, but the room appears to be the antechamber of a larger hall. Following the faint sound of voices, you pass through an archway, along a corridor and into the main hall. Gathered about a circular table of gleaming polished steel, a group of elderly men are poring over books, star charts, and astral maps. They are engrossed in discussion. Globes of blue-white fire hang motionless in the air above them to illuminate their tomes and manuscripts. The old men do not see you until you come close to their steel table. Their reaction to your sudden appearance is astonishing. It is as if they have seen a ghost. Their yelps of shock and startled expressions. Beads of sweat form on their brows. The sight is too much for one old man who swoons and faints, hauling limply across his books and maps. Only one man among them remains calm and collected. If you have ever visited a hut on Raiders Road in a previous Lone Wolf adventure, I kept the notes from the first 5 books. Visited the hut on Raiders Road, yes. Instantly, you recognize the old man who stands before you now, calm and smiling. It is the same old man whom you encountered in a hut on the highway from Olmgard to Ruanon some years ago. It is the same man who handed you a scroll that foretold of the dangers of the Chasm of Doom. "Welcome, Lone Wolf," he says, smiling kindly. "Once again, the stars have dictated that our path should cross." I don't remember if the old man had a name. "Calm yourselves, my brothers. It is the Kai Lord." Slowly, as the startled old men regain their composure, their shocked expressions begin to change to ones of awe and reverence. "I am Gwynyon," says their leader. "We have been expecting your arrival." He points to the charts that cover the table, and to a massive telescope fixed to a platform in the dome ceiling. "The stars divine the shape of things to come. They are our advisors. We know of your quest for the Lorestone. We know that it is a true quest, and we pledge you our help. But there are many of our brethren who fear its power. They choose to ignore the wisdom of the stars, and they have pledged themselves to a foolish and dangerous vow to keep hidden the location of the Lorestone, and to kill all who come seeking it, for fear that they will use it for their own hand." Suddenly his words are cut short by the beating of fists against the observatory door. "Your horse has been discovered." So strange. Am I really at the right place? Sure, the text is following along like it should. Went to the library. No, you're at the right place, okay. "Give the intruder to us!" scream a chorus of angry voices. "Quickly, we must leave at once," says Gwynyon as he ushers you into a smaller room. A hidden catch is pulled and a secret panel cracks open to reveal an unknown passage. As you follow the sage and his companions into the darkness, you hear the door to the observatory splinter and break open behind you. The passage leads to a vaulted cellar, as cold and silent as a tomb. Gwynyon talks with his brothers, and then they hurry off towards a distant portal. As they disappear into the darkness, he returns to your side. His face is somber but composed. "The Lorestone of Varetta was hidden in the crypt of the Cathedral of Tecaro by Lady Sinadi, one of the main protagonists of the War of the Lorestone. This key belonged to her and will unlock the tomb in which it lies." He produces a silver key from his sleeve and gives it to you. My brothers will provide a swift horse for your journey. When the observatory clock strikes midnight, enter the portal and follow the passage to the end. It passes beneath the city wall. Your horse will be waiting where the passage comes to the surface. You are welcome to take any items you wish from this cellar that may be of use to you on your quest. May Kai and Nishir always protect you, lone wolf. You nod your thanks and watch as Gwynyn disappears into the portal. The cellar is well stocked with provisions, and you find the following items that could be of use on your journey to Tekaro. A quarterstaff, nope. Enough food for 3 meals, but we don't have space for meals. We don't need the map for Varetta anymore though. A mace, a brass whistle. Not sure. Rope, we already have. Short sword. Together with Sinede's silver key that Gwynyn gave you, recorded as special item. You must discard 1 in favor of the key. If you carry the maximum. We can discard it until we unlock the crypt. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We never talked about the Ronin Warhammer and all the rest of the things. The silver brooch didn't took a space. We need to drop stuff. Yeah. Yeah, since I have the fire sphere, I shouldn't have taken tinderbox and torch. I guess that I don't need the jewel mace or the Ronin Warhammer. +2 versus plated feels kind of cheap. Yeah. She needs silver key. Collect together all the items which you keep and settle down for the long wait until midnight. Oh yeah, let's change the meal and everything. When the observatory clock strikes midnight, you are poised and ready to enter the portal. You follow a dry stone passageway until you arrive at an iron door. It opens with a grating squeal and a gust of damp, earthy air, mixed with a strange sweetness, billows out. Before you, A narrow stone stairway twists away into the darkness. You are forced to tread carefully on the moss green slippery steps. At the bottom of the stairs, a rough-hewn tunnel disappears off towards the west. You press on and eventually arrive at another iron door. Gwinion has kept his word. Beyond the door awaits a fine liver chestnut mare, saddled and ready to ride. You may wish to make a note you have visited the city of Varetta for future reference. We are in a small copse, close to a highway junction. In the light of the moon, you can see a signpost that indicates two destinations, Amory and Soren. Consult the map at the front of the book before deciding which way to go. Soren, Amory. We are going to Tekaro, so... but the guys are... Yeah, we could go to Soren and down the river with the mercenary captain. The night passes without sleep. The howling wind of the Varatian plain serves as a mournful accompaniment as you ride the long, straight, moonlit highway to Soren. When dawn finally breaks, you find yourself on the outskirts of a small and undistinguished hamlet of half-timbered buildings. The only unusual feature of this settlement is a bronze statue of a roguish-looking young man, which stands in front of the blacksmith shop. You can examine the statue or ignore it and continue on our way. Take long to sightsee a little bit. The weather-worn plaque bolted to the base of the statue says that it is the true likeness of Viner Jupe, who led a band of robbers that preyed on travelers, especially merchants. His many crimes, including murder on travelers, His many crimes, including murder, did not prevent him from becoming popular, for he was resourceful and daring and never plundered the inhabitants of this hamlet where he himself was born. His exploits and those of a score of his gang were ended by the executioner's axe after summary trial at Amory. There is a slit in the belly of the statue through which gold crowns can be dropped. The plaque goes on to say that anyone who pays homage to the statue of Viner Jupe will be protected by his spirit from robbers and highwaymen. Yeah, I don't really believe at this thingamabob. Let's go on our way. Shortly before noon, you pass through a deserted village. The burnt-out ruins of cottages and outlying farmsteads dot the landscape like charred skeletons. There are the unmistakable signs of war. A mile or two farther along the highway, you come across a church. A man, his clothes ragged and caked with mud, is moving erratically among the gravestones. He flaps his arms and staggers from one grave to another like a wounded carrion crow. As you reach the church gate, he sees you and cries out pitifully for your help. If you have the Magnakai discipline of curing, nope. You can try to help the man anyway. I'm not sure. This one, I don't feel this guy. Let's continue on our way. You are tired after your long night's ride, but you know that you must press on regardless if you are to reach the town of Soren by nightfall. When you come to a shallow stream that crosses the highway, you stop briefly at this fjord to wash and rest for a short while. You must now eat a meal, or lose 3 endurance points. Next to the fjord, there stands a wooden signpost pointing to the west. Soren, 25 miles. Night has fallen by the time you reach the river town of Soren, and the sky is clear and full of stars that sparkle with icy splendor. You ride along the main street towards the quay, where a score of river ships lie docked at the town's main pier. Their signal lamps, shimmering red and green from the mast tops, reflect upon the cold, dark waters of the river Starn. A board standing beside the gangplank of a large transport caravel catches your eye. On it are chalked the pieces of passage to 3 Stornlands destinations: Luyen, Rem, and Eula. 10, 15, and 20 gold crowns. A 4th destination, Tekaro, has been crossed out, scribbled beside it a notice: cancelled due to war. Let's not buy a ticket because we're going to wait for the mercenary captain. I guess. I'm not sure if we're going to have the option. Yeah, let's see if we can find the mercenary captain. As you ride along the quay, you study your map of the Stornlands in search of an alternative route to Tekaro. There are 2 roads that will take you there: the mountain highway through the Scenares, Yarem, or the valley highway through Amori and the great forest of Saloni. Lack of sleep and fatigue from your long ride cloud your mind, and you decide that your first priority must be to get a good night's rest. A quayside tavern displays a sign promising the most comfortable beds in all of Soren. This is all that is needed to persuade you to stable your horse and enter its doors. Loud and raucous laughter greets your tired ears as you enter the Stornside Tavern. A motley throng of drinkers, overdressed and overarmed, are propping up the bar at the back wall. Suddenly a voice calls out to you and you raise your weary eyes. It is the captain. Ah, nice. The mercenary leader you met at the Inn of the Crossed Swords. Well met, my friend, he bellows and slaps you enthusiastically on the shoulder. So you've changed your mind, you've come to join my band of fearless fighters. Before you have a chance to reply, a foaming tankard of ale is thrust into your hand. To the battle ahead and to a full purse for us all. Shouts, and his toast is echoed by a score of drunken voices. As the chorus fades, the captain tells you that he and his company are bound for Eula aboard the riverboat that leaves at midnight. If you sail with them, he will pay for your passage. Yeah, sure, that's kind of what I was aiming for. Free ride, free companions. With your horse stabled safely in the hold of the Casonara, all that remains for you to do now is find your cabin. This proves to be a tiny room at the bow, but at least it has a comfortable bunk, and you fall asleep as soon as your head touches its feather pillow. You wake an hour after dawn, and peer out of the circular porthole at the shadowy river bank. Drizzle obscures all detail, and the sky is tinged with grey. As day approaches, the river mist grows thicker and whiter, and you go up on deck. The captain stands alone at the rail, the shoulders of his leather cloak soaked by the cold drizzle. He nods you welcome and points towards the Senior Mountains, now hidden in the mist. This foul weather robs us of landmarks, but by my reckoning, we shall be in Luyan by noon. You stare into the grey, damp air and pull your cloak closely around your shoulders. If you have completed the lower circle of Solaris, nope. Oh, well, they ask for lower circles. Suddenly, there is a tremendous jolt, and you are thrown head first against the rail. Lose 2 endurance points. Guess it means war. The screech of twisting metal and the crack of splintering wood tears through the silence as the Kazonara shudders and then dips violently. The boat has run into a boom, a line of lugs chained together across the river. "Ours teeth," cries the captain, "if we run aground." As the words leave his lips, a grapnel and rope drop from the sky and bite into the ship's wooden rail. More follow, and through the swirling mist you can now make out the shapes of longboats approaching.
"River pirates!"
shouts the helmsman.
"Prepare to repel boarders!"
Further along the deck, one of the captain's crew is felled by a thrown knife. His comrades rush to his aid, but they fail to reach him in time. The river pirates are powering over the side of the boat, and he is carelessly trampled underfoot. "Battle order!" bellows the captain, and immediately his crew respond by linking their shields and holding their ground. A swarm of grim-faced pirates are now boarding close by. One of their number, a lean man with only one ear and a split nose, smiles at you with anticipation. His lips are drawn back from his teeth, and his eyes are wide with excitement. He is relishing the thought of ending your life. But I have a bow. Don't bring a sword to a bow fight. The riverboard is still rocking violently from the collision, and it is throwing you off balance. With difficulty you raise an arrow, take aim at the man's chest, and then try to anticipate the shift of the deck as you prepare to fire. Pick a random number from the random number table. It's 4 plus 3, 7. It is 6 or higher. He screams and falls with the arrow embedded so deeply in his chest that only his feathered flights can be seen. His comrades freeze in their tracks, their eyes wide with fear. As you move forward, they scatter and run in all directions. Leaping over the slain, you fight your way across the deck to where the captain is in fierce combat with 5 pirates. While he attacks them with the long sword in his right hand, deftly parries enemy cutlasses with a bronze-sleeve shield that encases his left forearm. Fights with cool determination, making light work of the battled clumsy pirates. Then the blare of a war horn heralds the arrival of a new and formidable wave of attackers. You anticipate the captain's danger and rush to protect his back from these snarling, mad-eyed pirate berserkers. Yep, pirate berserkers. think we're full shape actually. Yeah. Sweep past numbered sections. So the pirate berserkers have combat skill of 20, endurance 30. Due to their state of battle frenzy, the pirate berserkers are immune to mind blasts, but not Psy Surge. Oh, don't really need Psy Surge. Use 2 combat skill here. Okay, plus 6. Let's roll 3 dice here at one. Not D8. Nope. Good. They're a low number again. 156. It's a 6-4. 10-2. So 16-6. And 11-1. So 27-7. Oh, almost dead. Probably only one die required. Yep. Dead. But with that roll we lose 2 endurance points. You win. Tide of battle has now turned in your favor. The pirates came looking for easy plunder, but your furious resistance has broken their nerve. They flee from the decks, scrambling hurriedly into their longboats to escape. The captain follows and hews at them with his sword, cuts a bloody trail to the ship's rail and grabs the pirate leader by the scruff of his neck. Then he rams the man's head against the mainmast once, twice, 3 times, with a rage that splits the timber and cracks the pirate's leather-clad skull. "Ha!" he cries gleefully. "Like I've always said, the Deldinians have no head for a fight." The battle ends as swiftly as it began, with the surviving pirates melting away like phantoms into the mist. There are only a few casualties among the mercenaries, but the boat's crew has been decimated. The pirate berserkers trapped them below decks and slaughtered them. Only one escaped their murderous blades. The captain takes command, marshalling repairs and overseeing the burial of the dead. The captain was impressed by your martial prowess and courage during the assault, and noticing how you are admiring his sleeve shield, he offers to swap it for any one piece of armor you possess. Helmet, shield, or waistcoat. He explains its bronze hue comes from the metal it is wrought of, namely bronze, which looks identical to newly cast bronze but which will not tarnish with age, and which is much harder. If you accept, erase your former piece and record the bronze sleeve shield. I think it's a good deal, because we can get waistcoat everywhere. Run and sleeve shield. That's a +1 combat skill and +1 endurance. Is that one of my skill? Another point when used in physical command can be used at the same time as a shield. Oh. But it can be used even when a shield cannot. That sucks. That sucks a lot. Alright, just for the roleplay, I'm giving him my shield. Which means it doesn't help me at all. I'm losing 1 endurance point. Yeah, the shield. Battle leather weights. Both. That boost. But that means that I get the +2 endurance back. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah, I got +1 there. And +1 -2. Sound correct here. 8, 9. +2, 11. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what's happening here. Really not a good trade-off. As the last of the bodies are swallowed by the river's dark waters, the Kazonara emerges from out of the mist, the welcoming sight of Luyan. Make a little map update. Yeah, we're in Soren, and we took the river down there. Luyan, the city of flowers and wine, greets you. Its towers, timbered houses, and fortified perimeter walls silhouetted crisply against the azure sky. It lies in the shadow of the Sinners, at a dangerous bend where the fast-flowing Storn undercuts the sheer slopes of Mount Prinder. The captain docks at the Luyan quay for provisions, and as his crew busy themselves with a myriad of duties and tasks, you accompany him on a visit to the Luyan apothecary. The entrance to this famous establishment is marked by a huge stone jar, creaking on its chains. The shop is vast and full of things that stir your curiosity. Towers of containered liquids, mountains of coarse grain powders, and forests of fruits and herbs crowd the emporium's bleached wooden shelves. The captain seeks medicines of strength and healing in readiness for the battle ahead, and the Master's eyes widen with delight when he reads the captain's list. The items he requires include many of his most expensive preparations. You can examine the potions. Take a look at the other shops. I think we have one space in our inventory. Several of the smaller stoppered glass jars contain potions that could be of use to you or on your quest. As you peer along the shelves, you look carefully at their labels. A potion of Lumspear, potion of Gallow Brush, Rendalem's Elixir, potion of Elatier, and a Grave Wheat Concentrate. One goes asleep, one kills instantly. Rendalin's elixir is like the jar of water. Don't have grave weed. Well, we don't have grave weed anymore. Well, right, the 6 gold crowns. You may buy any of the above potions, all of which are backpack items. There is only one of each kind of potion available for purchase. If you have the Magnakai discipline of curing, you may also purchase a herb pouch. I don't. We should look at some of the other shops. Yeah, we can look at the other shops. You agree to meet the captain in the apothecary in 1 hour's time before beginning your exploration of Luyen. Further along the street, you notice a dusty shop window full of weapons. Above the door, you see a sign, Nemiko's Weapon Shop, all weapons bought and sold. Don't really need weapons. I think I'll go along the street further down. They have cool weapons though. Fear of missing out here. The smell of dust and rusty metal wafts in your face as you enter the cluttered weapons shop. All manner of arms are stacked in racks that rise precariously to the ceiling. Their prices are chalked on a pillar of slate that hangs from a beam above the counter. Broadswords, daggers, short swords, warhammers, spears, maces, axes, bows, quarterstaffs, swords, arrows. One's interesting. Forgot the arrows. That's 2 for 1. Don't really want. Split the gold crown in half or whatever. Quiver and a large quiver. Oh, that one is interesting. 5 gold crowns. And I can buy 6 more arrows. Yeah, 411. I don't want to split. Large quiver, 12. And let's drop the quiver. If you have sufficient money, you may purchase any of the above weapons and special items. The shop owner will also buy any weapons that you may already have for 1 gold crown. That's the price shown. Yeah, I don't have anything to sell. At the end of the street, you step to peer in the window of a tall, half-timbered shop. It contains a fascinating selection of maps and charts which detail the many cities and regions of Magnamond. You enter the shop and browse the shelves that line its creamy plaster walls. 3 maps in particular attract your interest. The first is the map of Summerland. The second is the map of Tekaro. And the third is the map of Luyen. These maps are all backpack items. Okay. I just bought a grave wheat concentrate. I think the map of Tekaro would be a good idea. It costs... How much does it cost? Ah! We can trade maps. And we'll have a rebate. But I thrown away the map of Varetta earlier. 4 gold crowns for the Tikaro map. Alright. That's enough shopping for now. Let's reach. And you help the captain to carry his purchases. He has bought enough potions and medicaments to fill 2 large wooden boxes. As you stagger from the apothecary, he tells you that he is anxious to return to the boat without delay. His crew are good soldiers but poor sailors. He fears that without his watchful eye and stern hand, they will forget their work and drink themselves into a blind stupor. Yet his fears prove to be unfounded. When at length you arrive back at the quay to find that the Kazonara is fitted out and ready to sail. Cast off, booms the captain, enjoying the novelty of his new riverboat command. We'll make Rem by nightfall. The captain is as good as his word. As dusk is beginning to settle upon the shimmering black waters of the Storm, you sail into the horseshoe-shaped harbor at Rem. Alright, almost there. The city is choked with people, mercenaries from the north and west, weapon merchants from the east and ragged refugees from the war-torn south. The captain orders his crew to sleep aboard the Kazonara at night, forbidding them to go ashore. Poor Prince Baden of Ryoma and his mercenary knights are encamped inside the city walls. A bitter and long-standing rivalry exists between the two companies, and wisely the captain wishes to avoid any confrontation. Rumor has it that a number of the Stormland's most powerful princes are gathered in Ram to plot the defeat of the Slovians. However, the captain believes it more likely that the robber barons are conspiring against each other to steal the riches of Tikaro for themselves. You set sail at first light, bidding farewell to the slender twin towers of the Ren Cathedral, which overshadow the city quay. The Storm flows southwards through steep-sided fields of vines, arranged in endless straight rows like the waves of a green sea. The weather is pleasantly warm, and you spend the day on deck watching the traffic of refugees heading north along the highway. You also take interest in the strange gigantic toads, the sloats, which are employed at pulling river boats and barges upstream. It is late afternoon when you sight the town of Eula in the distance. You saddle your horse and check your equipment as the Kazonara berths at the town's wooden pier. You purchased the riverboat ticket. We didn't. We were with the captain. That is over here. Guy is going to ride us into Tikaro without any problem. You ride into Eula at the captain's side, his azure blue banner emblazoned with a flaming battle axe fluttering proudly overhead. The town has become a huge army encampment. Its people have long since fled to the north, abandoning their homes and livestock to the gold-hungry soldiers. Soldiers from a dozen nations rub shoulders with warriors of Drodarin, and even evil origins, all united by a common greed. The captain turns to the south where the highway is clogged with foot soldiers. As you catch your first glimpse of Tikaro, burning beneath a pall of thick black smoke, your heart sinks. At last you have arrived at the place where the Lorestone is hidden, but only to find that the city is being besieged by an army of 10,000 troops. Oh. As you approach a tangle of siege works constructed along the bank of the River Qual, the captain points to an encampment in a field away to your left. Here you see a large blue flag, with a gold eagle emblazoned in its center. It flutters limply in the soot-laden air. "Prince Hewovin Standard," he says. "The time has come for us to meet our paymaster." You wish to stay with the captain and his soldiers, or we can decide the time has come to part company with the mercenaries. I think the way goes through a military victory here. Lone Wolf, mercenary for hire. Prince Hewovin holds a conference of war. An hour passes before the captain returns to the company, and his news is greeted with mixed feelings by his travel-weary men and women. "We ride into battle tonight," says, his voice firm and unwavering. "We are to lead an attack across the Tekaro Bridge, break open the city gate. It is greatly weakened from a previous assault. We must attack tonight to prevent the enemy from making good their repairs." Wait long. Many of his mercenaries, battle-hardened veterans of countless wars, cannot hide their fears that this attack is suicidal. The gate may have been weakened, but it is still heavily defended by archers. It will not be taken without a great loss of life. "Each of you will be paid 1,000 crowns, says the captain, hoping to lift their spirits with the promise of gold. However, few seem impressed by his generous offer. What use will gold be to them if they should be killed in the assault? "Those who wish to fight can stay by my side," he bellows, his steel blue eyes blazing now with rising anger. "Those who will not fight shall have no place in my company." Can stay with the captain or leave the captain. Sounds totally crazy, but all in. Arrows sweep across the river in whistling waves as the captain draws the company into line at the approach to the Tekaro Bridge. The burnt-out hulks of siege towers and the bodies of dead soldiers lie strewn in heaps before the battered city gate. The fortified gatehouse bristles with archers, and the setting sun glints orange on the steel cauldrons of boiling oil and molten lead, which are mounted atop the battlements. "Charge!" screams the captain, and suddenly you are swept up and carried across the bridge by a frenzied wave of galloping horsemen. 30 yards from the gate, the archers release a deadly volley. Pick a number from the random number table. Yep, it starts. Oh, the bad rolls. If you possess the Magnakai discipline of mastery, nope. You have completed the Lord Circle of Fire, nope. You possess any shield. Add the bonus skill. Damn, Captain, I should have. If you have invisibility, add 1. If your endurance score is currently above 20, add another 1. We have +2 there, so that's 3 + 2, 5. The result is 3 to 6. I'm taking an Arun Denis for the captain. Oh, not me. Your horse is killed instantly amidst the rain of deadly arrows. It crashes to the ground, and you are hurled forward to somersault through the air before landing in a heap on the bloodstained soil. The archers have succeeded in bringing down the first 2 ranks of horsemen, but the attack is still pressing forward over the dead and dying in a reckless stampede towards the gate. You are now lying directly in the path of this stampede. You can leap over the parapet of the bridge, or curl into a ball and keep completely still. or run towards the Tekaro gate in front of the horses. That's sound like crazy shit. Curling into a ball, I'm not completely sure, but maybe there are lots of obstacles. I think the only options is actually jumping in the water though. You vault over the parapet with barely seconds to spare and tumble headlong into the cold rushing waters of the River Qual. You're alive, but you are now being swept away from the bridge by the river's swift and irresistible current. Yeah. All of that because I took the bronze sleeve shield of the captain and traded it in for my Kai shield. Desperately, you fight against the current until you reach the opposite bank. Breathless, freezing and soaking wet, you stagger out of the water and collapse on the rocks. Unless you have the Magnakai discipline of Nexus, you lose 1 endurance point due to extreme cold. Fine. As your strength returns, you begin to take note of your new surroundings. You have emerged from the river close to where the quarrel joins the river's Torn. We're pretty much here. Are we east, south, or north? You can see a small cave-like opening in the base of the city wall, less than 20 feet from your current position. A rusty crisscross grill of iron covers the entrance. Judging by the foul smell and color of the water pouring from its depths, you suspect this opening is a sewer outfall. Suddenly a flicker of hope returns when you realize that this outfall could lead all the way into the very heart of Tekaro indeed. But through the sewers. Adios, Captain. Thanks for the ride. There is a gaping hole in the crisscross of bars large enough for you to pass through with ease. The fetid water that is combed by this grill contains all manner of filth, a veritable feast for rats and vermin. However, as you wade deeper into the tunnel, you gradually come to realize that the sewer is empty of rats. In fact, it seems to be totally devoid of all signs of life. Circular chutes appear at regular intervals in the tiled ceiling, but they are far too narrow and slippery to climb. Combined with the eerie glow unexpectedly emitted by the Cynid silver key, now you have entered Tekaro. The faint light they convey nevertheless helps you to find your way. 15 minutes after entering the sewer, you approach a major junction where 2 new channels flow into the main course. If you have a map of Tekaro, that was a good purchase. In the dim light of the sewer, you can only just discern the outlines of the curtain wall and the streets of Tekaro on your map. The cathedral is located in the center of the city, approximately half a mile from the point where the 2 rivers meet and due east of the point at which you entered the sewer. You fold and pocket the map before setting off again towards your objective. A 100 yards further along the passage, you see a flight of stone steps. They ascend to a stone trapdoor which is set flush into the ceiling. Could check the trapdoor where it leads. Gaze. The trapdoor is heavy and stiff, but gradually its seal of rust cracks and loosens under the pressure. Inch by inch, you force it open to reveal at last the cobblestone city square. Across the square, directly ahead, is the Cathedral of Tekaro. The square is teeming with guards and you are forced to close the hatch quickly to avoid being detected. You estimate that the cathedral is approximately 200 yards due east. As you descend the steps and continue through the passage, You pray that this sewer will give you access to the cathedral's crypt. Less than 50 yards along the channel, you see another passage joining the main flow from the right. Not sure it's important. Seems like a detour. Sounds like a detour. Diligently you press on, silently counting every step you take along the sewer until you reach a narrow vault. It is a little over 150 yards from the previous junction. An iron ladder, its rungs pitted with rust, rises out of the water to an arched stone door. Beneath the door, the sewer continues away into the darkness. You can climb the ladder and investigate the arched door, or continue along. Climbing the darkness. I think we might be near where we need to go. The door is old and decayed. It has not been opened for more than a century. If you are to find out what lies beyond, you will first have to clear the dirt and rust that gems its hinges. If you have the Magnakai discipline of Nexus or Psy Surge, you have both. You concentrate your Magnakai discipline on agitating the particles of dirt that wedge the door shut. Gradually the stone begins to vibrate, and cracks appear around the gem as the dirt begins to loosen and crumble. Slowly the old stone door creaks open, and as the dust settles, you find yourself staring into the forbidding crypt of the Caro Cathedral. Stepping into the chill, stale air, your heart begins to pound loudly in your chest. The Lorestone is here. You can feel it. Beams of ashen moonlight filter into the crypt, illuminating a line of somber granite tombs that rest here like sleeping giants under the earth. Clutching the glowing Cinides silver key, you examine them one by one for the lock that keeps secure the legendary Lorestone. At length, you find the lock and insert the key. Delete a special item from your action chart. It won't give one easily, I'm sure. But you're suddenly distracted, on the very brink of discovery, by a creature that is advancing upon you through the open sewer door. A huge lumbering monster stalks towards you. It is over 10 feet high with thick, twisted, airy limbs and large fingers that are tipped by razor-sharp talons. Baleful, monstrous eyes protrude from yellow slits in its glistening head, and a long reptilian tail whips behind it. Its hideous and peculiar gibbering fills the moonlit crypt as it draws nearer and nearer. If you have a bow, all in silver bow of Duadon. Trembling with fear, you draw the bowstring and fire. The arrow glances off the creature's armored head and shatters to match wood against the crypt wall. Trusty silver bow failed us at the most critical time. There is no time for a second shot. Hastily, you discard your bow and prepare for close combat as the beast moves in to strike. I guess it's time to take a bunch of elite berries. The hideous creature gurgles with anger as it springs forward and attacks. Dacomid, combat skill 25. still advantage. 5, 6. Okay. We're able to heal ourselves. Up to the new score of 38 that we have. 25, that means only +2 combat ratio. Beast is immune to Psy Surge and Mind Blast. That means a combat ratio of 0. It has 50 endurance. Oh yeah, that's a BBG there. If you play in the veteran mode, you may use the Summer Sun in this battle. Need to reduce the creature endurance to 25 or less and not continue combat. I think it's time to use the Aliter Berry. Means that we regain our combat ratio of 2 for the first 2 rounds. Okay, there we go. I think we could roll like 5 of these. That needs a good battle music there. Oh, so many good rolls. Forgot to type in the number of the fight. Alright. So we're at +2 with a 10. That's 14 against 0. And a 6. 9 against 2. That's 23 against 2. And the combat ratio is going to fall down to 0. And that's pretty much it. No, 23. Yeah, 23 against 2. Nearly there. We still have +1 for the berries though. Only 1 roll needed. Win this fight. With oh yeah, well the roll was already done actually with the 0 before. So the creature is down to 13 and no damage. We were ready for the Decamid. Okay, the creature is under 25 endurance points. What is going to happen? The crypt floor is crawling with the severed remains of the monster, still riding blindly forward with maniacal intent. Spider-like, a severed hand climbs your leg and embeds its talons in your flesh. Lose 2 endurance points. Yeah, he couldn't hit us, so now the creature is cheating. As you fight to free yourself from its vice-like grip, the torn pieces of the Decamid's body gather themselves together for another attack. We can leap forward and strike the creature, or unlock the tomb and retrieve the Lorestone. French choice. Gives the impression that this creature can't be defeated. Otherwise, the fight will have continued forward. And maybe the Lorestone is kind of a special something. Destroy the Decomid's pieces. Well, we have the time before the body gather itself to take the Lorestone actually. Striking another time and the creature won't kill. Well, actually with the dice that I roll right now it will kill it, but yeah, let's go with the Lorestone thing, since we have a window of opportunity. As the door creaks open, a sun-like radiance pours out from the tomb and floods the crypt with golden light. Its searing intensity paralyzes the Decomid. You grasp the Lorestone and your senses reel with newfound wisdom and strength. Instinctively, you raise your weapon and strike the monster at the base of its hideous skull. It gives one last loud and plaintive shriek before its unnatural life is extinguished forever. Before your disbelieving eyes, the Decomid's skin starts to ripple as if a wave is washing beneath its skin. Suddenly a crisscross of wrinkles appear, and layers of transparent bone peel off and fall away from its shell-like skull. Its body becomes hunched, shrinking and folding by the second, until all that is left is a film of dust on the floor of the crypt. Time has at last caught up with this ancient terror. As the golden light begins to fade, you stare with fascination at the object of your quest, the Lorestone of Varetta. However, all that you are now holding in your hand is a hollow sphere of multifaceted crystal, empty and transparent. Your quest has succeeded, for the power of the Lorestone has been absorbed into your body and mind. Its strength and wisdom has now become an innate part of your being. To your amazement, the location of a second crystal orb forms slowly in your mind, as well as the absolute certainty there are even more Lorestones left hidden on Magnamon. This remarkable transfusion signals the beginning of a new and deadly challenge on your quest for the Magnakai. Yet be warned, the Magnakai quest will draw you into a sinister place, where a malicious and terrible evil has grown in power since the time when Sun Eagle first completed the quest. If you possess the courage of a true Kai Master, the challenge and the quest await you in Book 7 of the Lone Wolf series entitled Castle Death. Next week, same time, same channel.